After losing their first 2 games of the season, the Wapakoneta Redskins have responded well by winning their last 2 games against tough WBL foes. Now tonight they face their biggest test so far as the undefeated Elida Bulldogs come to Harmon Field. It's week 5 of high school football next on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Hello, Frost Roofing.
Frost Roofing holds the same core values our company was founded upon nearly 9 decades ago. We proudly provide quality craftsmanship and top-notch service to each client we serve. We're licensed by several major roofing manufacturers to give you the right recommendations at the best value for your investment. With state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and our honest way of doing business, Frost Roofing is our area's preferred commercial roofing experts. To learn more, visit frost-roofing.com or call 419-739-ROOF.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Welcome everybody inside to Harmon Field. It's homecoming here at Wapakoneta. Eli Alvarez and Paul Sadler alongside you as the Redskins run out onto the field, and we welcome you into the Minster Bank pregame show. So it's week 5 here in the Western Buckeye League, Paul, and we've got 2 teams that last year were very close in the standing, and this year, for both teams, it's a major game to decide who's going to get that WBL championship.
Yeah, going into this season, we thought this was going to be one of the biggest games of the season. It's living up to that. Elida is tied with St. Mary's, undefeated atop the WBL. Wapak controls their WBL destiny as they sit only a game back in the standings in their drive to win a potential 4th consecutive WBL title, which has only been done 4 other times in the 80-year history of the Western Buckeye League. And the Elida Bulldogs coming to this contest 3-0 and on the season in the Western Buckeye League, 4-0 overall, Paul. Yeah, Bill Speller enters his 2nd year as a Bulldog head coach after a very successful 14-year run at Wayne Trace. Elida is 4-0 for the first time since 2012, and much of their success is attributed to their dynamic offense. They are the top scoring team in the WBL, averaging over 43 points per game and over 500 yards, more than 120 yards than any other team, and they are very balanced. They have a lot of returning skill talent surrounding quarterback Isaac McAdams and running back Dan Unruh, receivers Kalen Henderson, and WBL first teamer Cole Harmon. And speaking of Isaac McAdams, he's our player to watch for the Bulldogs tonight. Yeah, the 6'3", 200-pound second-team WBL quarterback is dominating so far in his senior campaign. A true dual-threat quarterback, he currently leads the league in passing touchdowns and rushing yards. He's also a close second in passing yards and quarterback rating, and what makes him tough, there isn't really one thing to take away from him. He spreads the ball around to different receivers and can make the play with his legs if nobody is open. He's a defensive coordinator's nightmare. And the Wapakoneta Redskins, they come into this one 2-2 overall, 2-1 in the Western Buckeye League, Paul. Yes, they had an incredible comeback last week versus Kenton where they overcame a 27-7 deficit to win 49-35, where they ended up rushing for 379 yards. Defense is still the strength of this team as they are 3rd in the WBL in points allowed, but their defense will be tested tonight. While they're ranked 1st versus the rush and 2nd in overall yardage, they are currently last in the WBL WBL versus the pass, and are facing an offense that's near the top of the league.
And one of our favorite names on this Wapakoneta roster, because of his nickname, Zach Bubba Miller, is our player to watch for the Redskins tonight.
Yeah, Bubba's had some injuries a little bit early in the season, but he has not really missed any time. The senior is unofficially leading the Western Buckeye League with 6 sacks and 10 tackles for loss, and he's a force against the run and a terrific pass rusher. He'll be counted on to harass McAdams to slow down this Bulldog offensive juggernaut.
Let's look at the keys to the game. We'll start first with the Bulldogs of Elida.
Elida wants to have a fast start. They are currently outscoring their opponents 45-0 here in the first quarter. They want to keep it balanced. Their offense is pretty balanced in terms of passing and yardage and running the ball 275 and 250, and they need to have a physical defense.
And the keys to the game for the Redskins.
Yeah, they can't continue to hurt themselves. Right now they are -7 on turnover ratio for the year. Their pass defense needs to improve a little bit, but it starts with the rush and needs good coverage. And they just need to hang around. You know, Walpock overcame early deficits to win the last 2 weeks, and Elida, as good as they are in the first quarter, have been outscored 42-14 in the second quarter.
That'll do it for the Minster Bank pregame show. When we come back, we'll have the first half kick right here on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler, with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community, with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
IC Signs designs, creates, and installs custom eye-catching signs. We use state-of-the-art technology to produce indoor and outdoor signs, LED message boards, and vehicle wraps. We can also help you with LED light conversion, sign refurbishing, custom t-shirts, promotional items, and your print needs. Whether you know what you want or have no idea, trust the experience of IC Signs. Call IC Signs at 419-738-6640.
Back here at Harmon Field for this Week 5 matchup, Eli Alvarez and Paul Sadler with you as both teams head out onto the field. It will be the Elida Bulldogs getting the ball to start the first half as the Redskins won the toss, elected to defer. And Paul, we spoke on it a little bit in the pregame. This was a matchup that we had circled on the calendar from the beginning of the season. The two teams maybe have different records than we expected, but we still expect a great game out of both of them.
Yeah, and really in terms of coming into the year, we knew Elida had arguably the best skill position talent returning, and Walpock's won the 3 last WBL titles, and so has a lot of returning talent from there too. So even though they have one loss, they still control their destiny.
It'll be Luke Beach, the junior, to kick it off for the Redskins, wearing number 9.
Yeah, Cole Harmon, one of the people that are deep last year, he is a person to watch. He was a first-team All-WBL flex offensive player.
As Beach starts his run-up, and we are underway here at Harmon Field for this Week 5 matchup. This kick goes out of bounds, and that'll give the Bulldogs great field position to start their first drive of the ball game.
And in the second week, we've seen that where there's a little bit of a reputation of the returner and trying to keep the ball out of their hands. They try to angle it towards the sideline, not necessarily trying to kick it out of bounds, but trying to keep it near the sidelines.
So that means coming out onto the field is the quarterback, Isaac McAdams. He has been a machine offensively offensively for the Bulldogs this year. Over 1,000 yards passing the ball, and he's over 500 yards running the ball. He's just been doing it all for Elida this year, Paul.
And he's got an eye-popping 13 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. Last year's second-team WBL quarterback is on pace to have a much better senior year.
They'll go with an empty look for the first play of the game. McAdams dropping back, quick pass up the middle, and it's going to go for about a 5-yard gain, and it will give Elida a good first play.
And just a lot of weapons for Elida as we'll take a look at their starters. One little change on this, center Jordan Speller is out with a concussion, so 55 Dan Tullis takes over center duties, and Donnie Gibson, number 78, will take over at right guard.
McAdams once again in the empty set. He went to Henderson on the last play for the 5-yard pickup. As he drops back, surveying the scene, finds a man open, and that's Harmon, and that's going to get a first down.
And we'll look at defensive starters here for Wapak. Normally runs a 4-3, but this week they're going to run kind of a hybrid look on defense. See our player to watch there in Zach Bubba Miller. Evan Keck obviously makes a lot of plays, and that defensive secondary is going to be tested with the skill talent of the Elida Bulldogs.
Now we're running back. We'll join McAdams in the backfield for the first time tonight, as he will hand it off. This one will be going pushed out to the outside, a gain of about 2 or 3 for the Bulldogs for Daniel Unruh.
And again, they are a spread team, but they're also excellent running the ball. Again, averaging nearly 250 yards on the ground and having several different guys that can hurt you running it. Obviously, Isaac McAdams, the quarterback, is the leading rusher in the Western Buckeye League. Unruh is up there at 13th, but again, passing is where they really do their damage. They have 3 people who are in the top 8 in the league in receiving.
So second down for Elida. McAdams looking to go deep with it. He has a man down the middle of the field, and it's complete to Devin Barnett, and he's going to move the chains.
And I tell you what, that was really impressive by McAdams. He had, first of all, enough protection back there where he looked around. He was looking to the left, didn't like what he saw, and then saw Barnett coming over across the middle late and got a 20-yard gain. Not many high school quarterbacks can make that progression.
So this impressive first drive of the ball game continues for the Bulldogs. Now at the 25-yard line, McAdams with a quick out pass to Harmon. He's trying to get free. Can he get a block? No, but he breaks the tackle, and now he's going to be brought down by Riley Gibson.
Now, Wapak came with the blitz, and McAdams very correctly found where that spot was vacated as they're playing zone defense a little bit further back and found the soft spot underneath.
Second down and 2 now for the Bulldogs. McAdams will throw once again. Thinking about running, but now he passes it off, and it falls incomplete as he was looking for Callan Henderson.
Yeah, and really what they were looking for that time was Cole Harmon was running a little hitch-and-go pattern, which means he went about 5 yards, looked like he was going to turn around and just sit up, but you're trying to bait the defense in, and then when he went up the field, but the Redskins covered it very well.
So now a third down and 2 for the Elida Bulldogs. They're 21 of 43 on third down conversions this year. It will be a handoff to Unruh, and he's got the first down and then some, as he's going to be gang tackled around the 5-yard line.
And nice call and nice execution behind that really big offensive line for Elida. In fact, this has got to be the biggest offensive line in the Western Buckeye League. The smallest guy weighs 245 pounds, and Devion Simpson, and they have some experience. 3 returning starters with Purdy, Bailey, and Tullis. And Bailey is 6'7", 315, Eli.
8th play of the drive.
Yeah, that's a big kid out there. As the Bulldogs now knocking on the doorstep of the end zone. 6 yards to get there. Unruh in the backfield. He'll get the handoff. Tries to break a tackle, and he's ankle tackled down at around the 3.
Nice cut by Unruh. He wanted to hit that outside initially, but Miller had some penetration up the field, and he very correctly stopped on a dime and cut to the inside and picked up some yardage.
Well, McAdams has no problem handing it off to Unruh. We know that not only from this year, but what they were able to do last year on the basketball court together for the Elida Bulldogs. As Unruh will once again join McAdams. And this time McAdams will keep it, but Walpock's defense stands tall.
Colin Goulet actually laying on the back is able to make the tackle, and McAdams needs to be able to kind of cut that up inside if necessary, but this is going to bring up a 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Get a good look right there of Coach Speller, having all kinds of success here in their early season for the Elida Bulldogs.
Well, the Bulldogs know how to do one thing, and that's score. 43.3 points per game is their average coming into this one. McAdams will look to pass. It's a little screen pass, and we'll see if the dive is enough. Yes, it is, as Cole Harmon gets in for his 7th touchdown of the year.
And we've seen that several times this year. A very effective play call, the slip screen near the goal line. Everybody wants to get him up the field and get to the quarterback. That vacates an area. Cole Harmon finds it, and that is his 5th receiving touchdown, which leads the Western Buckeye League, and Isaac McAdams his 13th touchdown pass. 14th, excuse me.
So that'll bring on number 15, Noah Adcock, for the point after attempt, and it is good. So the Bulldogs have the early lead, 7-0 over the Redskins here at Harmon Field.
Hello?
Call dropped?
Hello?
No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry, telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes, never has a dead battery, and most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is a full-service insurance and financial services agency offering insurance coverage for your auto, home, business, life, and health. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency represents a carefully selected group of financially sound, reputable insurance companies to place your policy with a company offering the best coverage at the best price. Contact Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency at 419-739-4000.
The Stolly Insurance Group, growing and looking out for you.
Whether it's your personal insurance, business insurance, or life and health insurance, let Stolly Insurance look out for you.
We're fortunate enough to represent over 50 different insurance companies. We have access to major insurance companies all over the country, so you will receive the best coverage for the best premiums.
Stolly Insurance proudly represents Auto Owners Insurance Company and other fine companies.
Stolly Insurance, looking out for you.
So the Elida Bulldogs, it takes them 10 plays, 65 yards, and they've got the opening score of this one. They lead the Redskins 7-0 here, Paul.
And we said that they like to strike fast. They now are outscoring the opponents 52-0 here in week 5 through the first quarter. So the Bulldogs kind of just doing what they do. And for the 3rd consecutive week, the Redskins have fallen behind in the first quarter.
And it's Noah Adcock to kick it off. He had the game winner against the Bulldogs 2 weeks ago as time expired to keep Elida undefeated. This one will go into the end zone, and that means we'll see the first look of the Redskins offense and Brady Erb tonight.
And this offense for the Walpock is averaging 26 points a game. They're at their best running the football, and we look at their starters, although that's the defensive starters. Yeah, there's the offensive starters. Again, we're going to have a lot of people in the backfield. Keck and Gerstner are the leading rushers, but we're going to see other people run the ball, including Mitchell Apple. Bubba Miller will probably get a couple carries in there too.
So let's see how the offense responds after the defense gave up the first touchdown of the game. It will be a handoff. This one going to the outside to Mitchell Apple. Tries to break a few tackles, and he's going to be stopped after a short gain.
Calvin Brown in on the stop.
And here's the starters for Elida. And you see there are some kids playing both ways. There's 3 linemen, Purdy, Tullis, and Bailey are two-way starters. Leading tackler on this team is Ethan Gray from the middle linebacker spot.
So the Redskins come out in this one. They have about 1,300 total yards of offense so far this season, and they've had a pretty good running attack with Evan Keck in the backfield. We'll see if they go to him here on this play, as that's exactly who's going to get it, but he's going to be stopped short of the original line of scrimmage.
And it was pretty much a team effort last week. I mentioned they had 379 rushing yards in their comeback win versus Kenton. Keck and Gessner both had about 120 yards. Apple had like 80-some yards. Riley Gibson had about 40-some yards. So they can get it from lots of different spots.
So a early third down here in this first drive of the game for the offense of the Redskins. We'll see what they draw up. As Erb will once again go under center. This time he'll fake the handoff to Keck, looking to throw to Apple. Apple's open, but he's overthrown, and that'll most likely bring out the punting unit for the Redskins.
Yeah, and they had Apple coming out of the backfield on that little, what you call it, out and up or a chair route, but he went into the flat, and then he bent it up the sidelines, and he did have a step out there, and I'm sure that's a pass that Brady would like to have back.
So Chris Rickenbaugh will come out for his 10th punt attempt of the year. He's got 313 total yards so far this year on his punt attempts, as he's got a lot of time to get this one away. It's high, and it's going to bounce it around the 45 and keep rolling down to the 30, to the 25, and still going to roll. That's a great job there by the punting unit.
I guess that's about a 58-yard punt, all net that time, Eli. So that's very impressive to be able to flip the field position after going 3 and out.
So we'll see Isaac McAdams in this Bulldogs offense once again. Very impressive in that first drive. We'll see if the Redskins defense has an answer for him here.
And as I mentioned before, there's just so many weapons, and that's what makes Adams really, really good, is he doesn't just have one favorite receiver. Harmon, Henderson, and Unruh all have over 25 catches each, and that just makes it really tough because you can't focus in on someone to take away.
So first down at the 20-yard line where the Bulldogs will start. Quick pass out to the outside. It's got a lot of room to run. Callan Henderson, and he's going to be knocked down close to the chains.
And you have to have excellent blocking from your wide receivers to make that bubble screen go. And that time they were able to get excellent blocking, especially Xavier Gilkey was out there with a nice block. And also Barnett.
So a 2nd and inches now for this Bulldogs offense.
31, Harmon's at 3.
Coming into the game, 105 first downs. And here's another one as McAdams says, I'll do it myself, and getting it up to the 35.
Yeah, well, it almost was disaster. Miller was in the backfield with his hands, be able to try to potentially make that play on McAdams, but he would not be taken down, was able to move the chains for the Bulldogs.
So with the fresh set of downs, the Bulldogs will continue their drive here, looking to duplicate the first drive, which ended in 7. McAdams once again to throw. Looking to go deep. Now he's going to scramble. Throws it. Got a man down the middle of the field, but it's knocked down as the intended receiver, Devin Barnett, couldn't pull it in.
Aaron Chambers, sticking with his defense that whole time, is able to strip and knock the ball away, as McAdams had plenty of time, is able to make a play and see the ball knocked away right there at the end.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down now for this Bulldogs offense.
Only the 2nd incomplete pass of the game for McAdams. He's now 6 for 8.
McAdams throwing once more. Quick pass. This one is going to be caught, and it's going to be caught by Cole Harmon down at around the 40.
And unfortunately for him, his helmet came off during that tackle by Jacob Place, and he has to come off the field for a play. And he knew it right away. He didn't try to stay on the field while he hustled right off the field so that he didn't take away from the tempo of his own teammates.
Yeah, this offense, they don't like to huddle, but they'll take their time before they snap the ball.
And now this brings up the first really third down of any substance, a 3rd and 6.
We'll see what the Bulldogs decide to do. McAdams with Unruh next to him. He will fake the handoff, throw it, and it's going to be enough for the first down. Barnett catches it this time and goes to the opposite 40-yard line.
And that is the second catch for Barnett, the 3rd target already here in this first quarter. He only had 5 catches coming into the game, and that's just a testament to how willing McAdams is to throw this ball around to different players.
So on the 21-yard pitch and catch from McAdams to Barnett, ball will be placed at the 40. Fresh set of downs for the Bulldogs. As Isaac McAdams will keep it himself, a design QB draw, but Walpock D-line does a great job of stopping him for a loss.
Well, I'm not convinced that 100% it was convinced it was called. I think that Evan Keck was coming on the blitz right away, and that's where McAdams thought he needed to go. But we're going to give Bubba Miller a credit for his 7th and a half sack right there, although only a loss of 1 for the Bulldogs.
So bring up a 2nd down and 11 now for the Elida Bulldogs offense. You spoke on it a little bit earlier, Paul. 45 points for them all year in the first quarter, and they haven't given up a single point in the first quarter yet this year. As McAdams will throw. This one almost intercepted, as that could have been a big turnaround. That one falls incomplete, and it was Jacob Place that almost pulled it in.
Yeah, he was looking for Kalen Henderson that time, but he was kind of surrounded in the zone, and that's kind of the first little hiccup that we've seen from the Elida offense. They have picked up a 3rd and 6 earlier on this drive, but now they have a much longer 3rd and 11.
Bulldogs 3 for 3 on 3rd downs in this contest. McAdams by himself once more. Looking to throw it. He's got a man, but it's incomplete right at where the markers would have been. If he would have held on, it would have been a 1st down, but now a 4th down decision for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Gilkey had that bounce right off his numbers, and that's going to bring on the punt team for Elida, who's going to opt to try to play the field position game.
And the Bulldogs will bring out that punt unit with Billy Alfred Janez. Yes, appreciate it.
Yeah, Billy Johns is 2nd in the WBL in punting, although not looking for really distance a lot when you're kicking from the 41-yard line.
Well, this is only his 8th attempt of the year, as it is a nice punt, but will it roll into the end zone? Yes, he almost got it to land right around the 1, and that will set up the Redskins in field position. And we'll take a quick break and be right back here on Game Face Ohio.
41-yard punt.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA. The Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today.
Casa Chic in Wapakoneta has what you need for game night. Cheer for our Redskins in sweatshirts, sweaters, handcrafted scarves, hats, and gloves. Casa Chic has a variety of vendors, each with a unique style of their own. From handcrafted pottery to knit items to an eclectic blend of home and garden decor to new and refurbished furniture for any room in your home. Come see what Casa Chic has for you.
Back here at Harmon Field, 7-0. The Elida Bulldogs lead the Redskins. They punted away. It was a touchback, so we'll start it at the 20-yard line with Brady Erb and his offense.
And obviously it's early, but so far Elida is enjoying a 104-2 yard advantage.
As Erb will hand it off. It goes to Keck. Tries to break a tackle almost as he stretches forward to the 30-yard line, and it will move the chains.
And Keck, second in the WBL right now in rushing at 112.5 yards an average per game. And he is not your ordinarily looking sophomore out there.
Now, the best part of watching Evan Keck run is seeing his locks flow in the wind as as defenders are chasing him down.
Was not expecting to hear the word locks on the broadcast today.
As this will be another handoff, this time to Apple. He's got some wheels as well as he's across the 50, now to the 40 where he'll be thrown out at around the 35-yard line. A great play there by Mitchell Apple.
And you want to talk about just hitting the timing correct. If this was a little bit faster, a little bit slower, he doesn't get through that seam that was blocked for him. And it just worked out perfectly for the Redskins as that 33-yard run gets them in Bulldog territory.
So now momentum starting to shift to the side of the Redskins, as they've got a first down. It will be a handoff to Keck, and he's continuing to move the pile down to the 30-yard line. He won't go down easy.
No, we did their game 2 weeks ago against Shawnee, and we saw a heavy dose of Keck running the ball between the tackles on first down.
Yeah, they're definitely looking to feed him the ball. The sophomore, again, only a sophomore, 6'1", 210. He's a great option to have back there for the Redskins.
Running the power here to the short side of the field.
Keck will get it once more. He's got some room to run, and once again leaps forward to the 20-yard line.
And that's kind of interesting. You don't see that a lot. They were running their power formation, but to the short side of the field, which is kind of unusual. You know, teams tend to favor going to the wider side of the field, at least in terms of their formation. But that time, they saw something that they liked.
So the 10-yard run by Evan Keck sets up a first down at the 21-yard line.
But that time he was coming
as the time continues to run down in the first quarter.
I know what you're saying, but
Erb will hand it off, this time to Gerstner. He's got one man to miss, and stretching forward. Did he get in? No, he's going to be down, as he did a great job eluding tackles there on that run, getting down to the 1-yard line.
And Gerstner sidestep around the 8-yard line. Here we see on the replay right there. You know, in basketball we call that breaking somebody's ankles.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage again, and he's got the touchdown. How about that for an answer for the Wapak offense?
They started this drive, it looked like it was dominating by Elida, but that one defensive stop is what they needed. The Redskins put together a drive, and they are the first team to score in the first quarter this year against the Elida Bulldogs.
An impressive fact indeed, and that will bring out the kicking unit for the Redskins to try to tie this one up. Herb will hold. Kick on its way, and this one is good. So we're all tied up at 7 with 1:10 left in the first quarter here at Harmon Field. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
If you're looking for the best in screen printing and embroidery, then look no further than Capware, Lima's original one-stop screen printing and embroidery shop. Whether you have a family reunion or just trying to support our area teams, Capware has everything you need to let your true colors shine. If a more subtle look is what you desire, Capware has you covered there too, with a full selection of casual and corporate attire to keep you looking good. Ask about our full line of trophies and awards. No job too big or too small. Stop in today at 565 South Metcalf and let us cover your back. That's Capware, Lima's original since 1987.
Come out to Astro Lanes, where you can find great food, good drinks, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time. Dad's Toy Shop is Northwest Ohio's premier hobby shop located in downtown Wapakoneta and proudly supports Redskins athletics. Dad's Toy Shop, the one-stop shop for all your hobby needs. Stars and Stripes Graphics is your local screen printer located just east of the St. Mary's Memorial High School. Visit our showroom for all things Rough Rider, including jackets, sweatshirts, hats, sweatpants, ball caps, and more. We also carry items for New Knoxville Rangers and select collegiate gear for Ohio State and Michigan. Stars and Stripes Graphics, your local screen printer.
Here at Harmon Field. Tie ball game here at Harmon Field, 7-7 after the 1-yard run capped off a 6-play, 80-yard drive for the Redskins. It was Rob Gerstner that punched that one in, and minute 10 left in the first quarter. Looks like we're going to have a lot of offense here tonight, Paul.
It is. You know, we're selling in here for a dandy of a ball game. It's unseasonably hot, but otherwise a pretty nice night in terms of football, and just tremendous crowd here brought by both teams.
As Luke Beach will kick it off once again from the 40-yard line. And a flag thrown on the kickoff. We'll see what the officials say. I think they're going to call offsides. Rarely do you see a flag thrown before the ball is even kicked off the tee.
Well, in high school, that would be a reason why they would blow it dead.
So they will move back the kick from the 40-yard line to the 35. As Coach Travis Moyer looks on at his special teams unit, Luke Beach, again, 2 kickers for the Redskins. Him and Tristan Gessler, they share the kicking duties, and they've done a great job of it so far this year.
Yeah, Gessler more the place kicker. He's done a very good job. Obviously, Tristan Meyer, a tough graduation loss from them last year, but was quite a weapon from them in the kicking game, and these 2 guys have stepped in and done a good job.
So Beach will try it once again. This kick is going to bounce it around. Actually, it's going to be caught at the 20, and here comes Daniel Unruh looking to break a tackle. Runs into one man, and now he runs into a wall of Redskins, and he'll be stopped at the 25.
Well, the problem with that was Elida seemed to have a return set up to the right, but they kicked it all the way to the other side of the field, and Henderson was looking to try to get the ball all the way to where the return was set up, and there's way too many red jerseys on his way there.
Well, if you like looking at numbers and statistics for the Elida Bulldogs, the first quarter, as we mentioned, is the quarter that they're going to score in. 45 points this year total. It's the second quarter they struggle to score in. Only 14 points this year in the second quarter through their first 4 games, while their opponents are getting 42 points. As McAdams will send Barnett in motion, and he'll hand it off. This one to Unruh, and he's going to be dropped just short of the chains.
And sometimes it's tough to see when you're on ground level but from up here. Unruh missed an opportunity. He had his left tackle, Michael Purdy, had his guy sealed going to the inside. He should have cut right off his butt to the outside, and he would have picked up more yardage.
So 2nd down and 2.
Again, I mentioned before, different look, only 3 linemen on defense.
And McAdams breaking a tackle. Now he's ankle tackled at around the 35. Did he get enough for the first? Yes, he did. As they now move the chains for sure. And once they get it set, the clock will continue to run down from 28 seconds. They do have to run one play here before the quarter ends. McAdams sending Harmon in motion. That's who he gives it to. Cole Harmon tries to break a tackle and does. Gerstner chasing him down, and Gerstner's going to bring him down at the 39. And that's just about going to do it for the first quarter, as we're tied up at 7 apiece here in this Week 5 affair from Harmon Field. You're watching Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money. How? TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet into one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC. Give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. Call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Hello, Frost Roofing.
Frost Roofing holds the same core values our company was founded upon nearly 9 decades ago. We proudly provide quality craftsmanship and top-notch service to each client we serve. We're licensed by several major roofing manufacturers to give you the right recommendations at the best value for your investment. With state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and our honest way of doing business, Frost Roofing is our area's preferred commercial roofing experts. To learn more, visit frost-roofing.com or call 419-739-ROOF.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
First quarter in the books. We're about to start the second here. 7-7 is the score between the Redskins and the Bulldogs. Eli Alvarez, Paul Sadler with you here at Harmon Field. And the Bulldogs drive will continue after they switch sides. It's a 2nd down and 6. McAdams gives to Unruh. Unruh looking for some blocks. He's got him. Now he's got the first down across the 50. Still running to the 40 where he'll be tackled by Evan Keck.
There's a flag on the play back, so we'll see if this holds up. But that zone read play that has kind of taken over football is so hard to stop.
And it looks like that will come back, a holding call going against the Elida Bulldogs.
But that's going to negate, as we see replay, as you can see, he was waiting to see Miller to make a commitment to him. Once he did, then he allows the ball to be taken there by Unruh. But there was holding there on the perimeter. And as we said, that's going to move the Bulldogs back.
It'll still remain 2nd down, however. And we're 10 seconds into the second quarter. The Bulldogs, very impressive first drive of the ball game. Now they're looking to try to get something going here, but they've got about a 2nd and 12. McAdams will throw once again. He's got a man open, and it is caught as another penalty marker comes in. Evan Keck just destroys him there. That's Calvin Brown with the reception. He loses his helmet.
And the second time we've seen a helmet come off, and another flag on the Elida Bulldogs. And as good as the Elida Bulldogs are, they actually do lead the league in penalties for the Western Buckeye League, coming in with 32 penalties for over 300 yards. And this is going to be back-to-back penalties.
So it just makes the task ahead of Isaac McAdams and his offense a little bit more lengthy, as they're going to be moved back all the way to around the 16-yard line.
And this Walpock team is not a team you want to continue to give chances. You know, you need to not hurt yourselves with penalties.
It'll be the 17-yard line, and the first down is at the 45. 2nd and 28. Is McAdams looks to throw. He's got a man open, and that once again is Cole Harmon, and he's going to be dropped at the 30.
You know, and that's about as good as you can hope on a 2nd and 28. They got almost half the yardage back.
So now a 3rd down and 15 facing the Elida Bulldogs. The threat of possibly punting it once again.
They are 3 on 4 on 3rd downs. The only time they were stopped was on a 3rd and 11, and this one's even longer at 3rd and 14.
McAdams once again by himself in the backfield. As there's going to be a penalty marker going against one of his wide receivers, and that looks like that one maybe against Xavier Gilkey as he jumped. He didn't know what the snap count was.
Well, really, when you're the perimeter like that, you don't listen to the count. You just watch the ball for movement, and he just got a little excited. It's going to cost his team another 5 yards, and that's the 3rd penalty just on this drive, Eli.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. At this point, you wonder if the Bulldogs will just kind of do a give-up play and just run the ball here and punt it away, live for another down, try to get some field position. And they will hand the ball off to Unruh as he continues to run it up to the 35 where he'll be dropped. And that will bring out the punting unit for the Bulldogs.
So for the 2nd drive in a row, Elida is going to be forced to bring out their punt team. And for Wapak, as bad as it looked early on when they're down 7-0 and had a 3 and out, and Elida looked like they were having their way, they're going to end up with the ball back with a chance to take the lead.
He was there earlier. He was there the first time.
So the junior, Alfred Jans, will punt it off once again. And this one's going to bounce it around the 35 and bounce backwards to the 40 where it will be fielded. And that's where the Redskins will take over. Well, make sure you check out GameFaceOhio.com. We provide easy access to highlights, full game broadcasts, and much more. GameFaceOhio.com. As Travis Moyer trying to get his Redskins pumped up on this 1st down. 9:42 to go in the 2nd quarter. Tied up here at Harmon Field. Brady Erb under center once again. This time a pitch to Gibson, and he loses it. The ball's free, and I think Erb jumped on it, but there's a penalty marker down as well. And it's going against the Redskins.
Well, so far both teams appear to be their own worst enemy here recently. The Redskins have had problems with turning the ball over. Through the first 4 weeks, they've had 10 giveaways, of which 7 of them have been fumbles that they have lost. And this time they didn't lose it, but it did set them back, and then he put penalty yards on top of it. But just never did get the ball into the mesh point there for Riley Gibson. It looks like they're actually declining that penalty.
So it will be a 2nd down. 2nd down from the 35-yard line. 1st down marker just across the 50, as this will be a handoff to Bubba Miller. And Bubba's going to get about 2 yards, maybe 3 on the run.
Yeah, Bubba obviously a very strong and physical runner. As Coach Moyer, even with the lost yardage, wasn't going away from the game plan. Wapak has yet to complete a pass, only attempted one. All their yardage has been on the ground so far. Get a good look there at quarterback junior Brady Erb.
6 foot 175 is Brady Erb. He's taken a few shots this year. He's a pretty tough kid back there, as he's going to be in the shotgun for this one. Miller next to him. It's going to be a pass as Erb looks to go deep, and he loses the ball. Are they going to say incomplete? Yes, they are. And that's a close call there for the Redskins, because there was a host of Bulldogs ready to pick that one up and run it the other way.
Yeah, Trey Roberts specifically, the 230-pound senior, was right in there on Erb as he was getting ready to deliver the football. Don't know if he had any impact on the ball being knocked out of his hand or not, but luckily for the Redskins, that was considered a pass and not a fumble. Here we can see this looks like a good replay. Getting ready to pass the ball. And yeah, Roberts was able to kind of get right on the elbow, which knocked the ball pretty much out of his hand.
So punting unit out there. All the time in the world for Rickenbaugh to get this one away. And it's a short but high punt that's going to bounce. Once again, he's getting the lucky roll as it goes down past the 20-yard line. And Elida will be faced with tough field position once more.
If anything, home field advantage has been great for the punters. As we've seen positive punts, rolls for the Redskins and not for the Bulldogs.
Pretty good average.
Not always the most intriguing storyline, the punters, but hey, 45 yards on that one for Rickenbaugh.
Well, and you got to credit the defenses so far. Both offenses have kind of, shared the spotlight, coming into this game, but the defenses, while they do give up points, are pretty solid teams as well.
McAdams will hand this one off. Once again, it's in the hands of Unruh. Tries to bounce it to the outside where he'll be stopped at the 20-yard line.
And that was a nice job by Gerstner with an open field tackle. It looked like Unruh had some space and he tried to do a little change of pace in terms, as we can see right here, kind of turn it on then try to explode, but Gerstner has enough closing speed to be able to make the play.
So 2nd down and 7 now for the Elida Bulldogs. As Isaac McAdams once again is joined by Daniel Unruh in the backfield. This will be a throwing play, and they get it off, but immediately met with a shot is Calvin Brown, and a flag is down as we just continue to see dirty laundry on the field in this one.
Yeah, while we wait for that, Jacob Place was the one with the tackle, and it looks like it's going to be on Elida again. I just saw Coach Speller on the sidelines just put his head down like, I can't believe we keep getting these penalties.
Yep, another holding call. So the referees are keeping busy tonight, that's for sure.
So the 4th overall flag on the Elida Bulldogs.
You get a good look there of the sideline of the Redskins as they're hoping to get a stop here and possibly get the ball back and drive down for a touchdown. They'd love to go in the locker room with a lead, especially against this explosive Elida offense.
Well, Elida's now inside their 10 with that penalty, with it being called in the backfield.
So 2nd down, and we'll say a long ways. As McAdams looks to throw. Now he keeps it. He's got some room to run. He's going to be tackled at around the 20-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and now manageable for this Elida offense.
Yeah, for the 2nd time in a row, after a penalty, Elida has kind of at least gotten half of that back to be able to make it manageable. That time a 12-yard gain to make it 3rd and probably about 7.
As the clock counts down to 7 minutes in the 2nd quarter, McAdams once again by himself. He will throw. He's pressured and he's going to be brought down back in the backfield, and guess who?
Leading the league coming in sacks. That's his 2nd one of the night. Our player to watch, Bubba Miller, beats his man with a spin move. That was a great spin move right there. And that's tough to be able to defend there by Michael Purdy, who's a solid left tackle, a 3-year starter.
He did really good. His alignment was perfect. His alignment that's up a lot of yards.
And for the 3rd straight possession, the Bulldogs are in punt formation after a drive.
High punt. It's going to be fielded around the 40-yard line by Gibson. Got some blockers in front of him. Bounces it to the outside across the 50, up to the opposite 40 where he'll be knocked out of bounds.
And Gibson, probably the fastest Redskin. When he gets the ball in space, it can be trouble.
First time when you brought him outside.
Want to give a big shout out to Astro Lanes. We thank them for the pizza they provided us before the game. Delicious. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time. Check them out. Their phone number listed on the screen.
Yeah, Astro Lanes, again, one of our favorite parts of doing games here at Wapak is the Astro Lanes pizza. And obviously they have a full menu there as well, and obviously bowling.
Can tell you've been there 1 or 2 times, Paul.
Maybe.
As Walpak's offense will take over Off the Riley Gibson return. There was a flag down, a holding call going against the Bulldogs, so it will move up the return all the way to the 25-yard line. This is great starting field position for the Redskins.
Yeah, by far the best starting position for either team, and you got to think that the Redskins have to take advantage of this opportunity and put some points up this possession. And Coach Speller, with hands on the air, kind of wanting an explanation of what's going on and what's going on with his team. The punting team usually does not get called for a holding too often during a punt.
Yeah, interesting call. They're still trying to explain it to Coach Speller over there, but
Line of 5 penalties, 53 yards.
I don't think he's going to be happy with any explanation they give. As Gerstner's going to get the handoff here. Up to the 20, now to the 15, and he's close to moving the chains, just short.
And AJ kind of pointed out to us, Elida with 53 yards in penalties. That's almost a third of their total offense.
So 2nd down and 1 now for the Redskins in the red zone.
And as you mentioned, this has been the problem quarter for the Elida Bulldogs for some reason. They've been pretty much dominant in all other 3 quarters of the game, but the second quarter, being outscored 42-14 by their opponents. And they're 4-0.
It's weird how that works out sometimes, especially in high school football. As Erb will look to pass this time. He's got a man open, and it falls incomplete as he was looking for his intended receiver, Isaac Meeks, out there.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was meant to be that way, but Meeks and Gibson were pretty tight to each other, and that brings some of the defenders in. Generally, when you run a route, you want a little bit more spacing between your receivers. So, but Coach Moyer, taking a little chance, figuring 2nd 1. Let's see if we can, get a little trend breaker and get the ball down the field.
Gerstner and Keck in the backfield. Gibson, the lone receiver, out wide. Gerstner will get it. Nice move to get free, and he's going to have the first down at around the 10-yard line.
And that off-tackle play has been good tonight so far for the Redskins. But again, there's a really tight window of success, and they've been able to hit it pretty well.
And actually at the 11-yard line, so technically the Redskins can still pick up a first down before they score here.
Again, going overload to the right here.
As Keck will get the carry. And he goes into the pile and knocked down.
That's the 3rd helmet we've seen knocked off, as we see right there, for the Elida Bulldogs. That's kind of uncommon to see, 3 different players have their helmet knocked off. That time, that was number 51, Trey Roberts.
You almost wonder if it's something going on with the equipment over there. They're probably going to look into that because
Coach Speller wants his players to be able to stay out there. So yeah,
that's the biggest thing. As Apple and Keck are in the backfield with Erb under center. 4:25 to go in the second quarter. Apple will get it this time. Bounces it around the outside. It's going to be knocked out of bounds close to the 6-yard line, and it'll bring up a 3rd down now for the Redskins offense.
Once again, running the strength to the short side of the field and then running it to that side. Coach Moore is showing a little bit of a preference running the ball to the right.
So I ask you this question quite a bit every once in a while when it gets to this type of field position. It's a tie ball game. Is it 4-down territory?
Unless it's really short. I think you got a field goal kicker. You want to take the lead against the first place team, but obviously we'll see how this play works out.
Erb will throw this time. It's a screen to Keck. Keck with room to run, and he'll walk right into the end zone, and the Wapakoneta Redskins lead it now 13-7.
And once again, we see a screen pass and the goal line become effective. This one more of a traditional screen to the back out of the backfield with Keck. And Erb only his 4th touchdown pass of the year, but that's a big one. That gives them the first lead of the night.
Don't run the ball, though.
So Gessler will come on to try to make this a 7-point contest. Good snap, good hold. Kick is good as well. So 14-7, the Redskins are on top here in the second quarter against the Elida Bulldogs.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler, with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community, with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
IC Signs designs, creates, and installs custom eye-catching signs. We use state-of-the-art technology to produce indoor and outdoor signs, LED message boards, and vehicle wraps. We can also help you with LED light conversion, sign refurbishing, custom t-shirts, promotional items, and your print needs. Whether you know what you want or have no idea, trust the experience of IC Signs. Call IC Signs at 419-738-6640.
So Evan Keck punches it in for the Redskins, capping off a 6-play, 25-yard drive. They had great field position off of return, and now they'll kick it off to the Elida Bulldogs. Here they come with another flag being thrown in. My goodness.
Again, the most penalized team going to get it penalized again. This time a push in the back is the call, and that's going to push the Bulldogs back even more, and a little bit of frustration starting to show on the far sideline.
Well, it's really tough to get your offense going when you keep moving in the wrong direction, and that's got to frustrate not only Isaac McAdams but his entire offense, because they're normally used to being able to just move the ball with ease. We saw it in that first drive, and now they're just shooting themselves in the football.
We just start to think how the game felt halfway through the first quarter, where they made it look so easy that first drive. They got a 3 and out, and they started that other drive, and really since that first time they got stopped on offense, they've really kind of been their own worst enemy.
So McAdams will hand this one off to Unruh. He bounces it outside, tackled short of the 20-yard line. Defense standing tall for the Redskins.
But once again, a really nice block there by Calvin Brown on the perimeter. You know, one thing that you're getting from these spread offenses, you know, to hit those big run plays and some of those type of screen passes as well, your receivers need to be excellent blockers as well.
So 2nd down and 6. McAdams looking to throw once more. Now he keeps it himself. Tries to make one man miss, does, and is brought down at the 30, but he'll move the chains for a 1st down.
Yeah, Nathan Ambos actually, who's kind of playing the nose guard position, got caught in kind of a spin move. He was trying to make a move and spun, and when his back was to the quarterback during a spin move, that's when McAdams decided to go, and that created the gap. Here you can see Ambos right there playing as a stand-up nose against the spread attack.
11 yards on the QB keeper. Now McAdams looking to throw. Runs into his own offensive lineman, and he's brought down by Bubba Miller behind the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and that's going to be counted as a sack again. So that's the 3rd sack for Miller of the game already in the first half. Here we can see just a 3-man rush. So you're going to say that's just a coverage sack, if you will. You just have Ambos, Goulet, and Miller there, and Miller able to get through eventually.
And before the game, Paul, you and I were just in awe of how big that offense and defensive line is for the Elida Bulldogs. They're having a hard time stopping the speedy line of the Redskins tonight. as McAdams will throw once more. This one caught and being brought down past the 35 is Daniel Unruh.
But even though that was a sack, it was only a loss of about 2 yards. They can handle that. They can absorb that kind of loss. It's not much different than an incomplete pass. You know, what they can't do is get those 10-yard holding penalties or, you know, a really deep sack, which they've been avoiding the deep sacks.
Third down for the Bulldogs. They're 3 of 6 on third downs tonight.
But again, not all third downs are the same, and this is a lot more manageable than the last few they've had.
McAdams will keep it. Looking to move forward, and depending on where they give him the spot on forward progress.
That's really close. I think they're going to be a little bit short, but it's close enough to where they're going to temporarily stop the clock. But now I do see 4 fist up, indicating that it is going to be 4th down. And we'll see how aggressive Coach Speller wants to be. You know, you have a very explosive offense, but you're on the road, you're down 7 already, and he's going to leave his offense out there.
So 4th and about inches.
Look for number 11 right here to hold on to the football.
McAdams keeps it himself after the fake to Unruh. He's got the first down, and he'll be eventually brought down by Aaron Chambers before the 50-yard line.
And really, that was the right call, and Wapak had a call too, but they actually had a blitzer coming there from the outside who ended up getting picked up, Elijah Roa, that was right where the hole was initially and was able to just get blocked.
McAdams throwing once more. Has a lot of time. Now the pocket collapses and he gets the throw away, but they're going to say incomplete. Mitchell Apple thought he had the interception of his life, but they said it hit the turf first.
Yeah, it kind of short hopped and went straight up. But once again, that's good protection. I know they eventually are getting there, but eventually they are going to get there. You have to credit the coverage of the Redskins. Just no one was open there for a long time. And there you can see the ball intended for Harmon kind of bounced up.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. McAdams being pressured, but it's a screen, and it is complete. Now bouncing to the outside is Cole Harmon. He's got the first down. He's going to be brought down close to the 35. A nice play call there for the offense.
And I tell you what, a tremendous individual run there by Harmon, who, if he would have continued just to take his normal course going towards the middle of the field, Bubba Miller kind of had sniffed that out and was going to be able to tackle him, but he noticed that there was pressure there and cut to the outside to get the first down.
16-yard play. Unruh hit hard by Gerstner, but he holds on. It'll be a 2nd down and about 5.
And it's going to be a timeout taken by Elida.
So the Bulldogs take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 14-7. The Redskins lead it here at Harmon Field.
Hello? Call dropped? Hello? No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is a full-service insurance and financial services agency offering insurance coverage for your auto, home, business, life, and health. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency represents a carefully selected group of financially sound, reputable insurance companies to place your policy with a company offering the best coverage at the best price. Contact Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency at 419-739-4000.
The Stolly Insurance Group, growing and looking out for you.
Whether it's your personal insurance, business insurance, or life and health insurance, let Stolly Insurance look out for you.
We're fortunate enough to represent over 50 different insurance companies. We have access to major insurance companies all over the country, so you will receive the best coverage for the best premiums.
Stolly Insurance proudly represents Auto Owners Insurance Company and other fine companies.
Stolly Insurance, looking out for you.
Bulldogs have the ball on second down, trailing 14-7 with about a minute to go here in this second quarter. As they've moved the ball to around the 30-yard line, Isaac McAdams and his offense trying to punch one in here before the halftime. McAdams will throw. He's got a man open. It's caught, shake and bake move, and eventually being brought down is Callan Henderson.
Yeah, nice little shake and bake to be able to get to the outside to get the yardage for the first down was Henderson. And that will stop the clock temporarily. 55 seconds left, but we have 2 timeouts. The clock's still not a major concern for this offense.
McAdams will throw to Unruh. Unruh up to the 15, now closer to the 12-yard line. Not enough, well, depending on the spot, I think it is just short.
And Unruh listed as a running back, but he actually leads the Western Buckeye League in receptions coming into the game.
So second down and 1. Clock continues to run, approaching 30 seconds. McAdams will keep it himself. Nice move to get free. Now he's close to the goal line, and I think he's in.
Yep.
Yes, he is, as the hands go up for the officials. So the Elida Bulldogs score with 22 seconds left in the quarter, and they're a PAT away from tying this one up.
Yeah, the WBL's leading rusher, McAdams, takes it in on the called quarterback draw for his 4th touchdown rushing of the year to put that in addition with his touchdown passing earlier in the game. Took a shot right there at the goal line, but he'll take that to be able to take the points.
So once again, it'll be Adcock on to kick it off. On the PAT, it's blocked. And
let's shake up place.
Great job there by the special teams unit. So the Redskins still have the lead with 22 seconds to go in the quarter. That could prove to be costly for the Bulldogs, as just great penetration there by the defense to get in and knock that one away from Noah Adcock. And Noah, that's going to end his perfect streak on kicking PATs. Coming into the game, he was 23 of 23, and he had made his one off the first touchdown. So,
and that's usually when you get it blocked, that's usually the protection up front to be taken care of. And yeah, you know, we'll see if that point comes back to haunt them.
12 plays, 85 yards.
It's a 12-play, 85-yard drive
3 minutes, 43 seconds.
for the Bulldogs, as Isaac McAdams capped it off
and we just
on his
saw
13-yard run.
And we just saw that replay there of place, and you saw that he makes contact with the kicker afterwards, but there is no penalty for roughing the kicker or running into the kicker if you make contact with the football.
So the Redskins will have 22 seconds to do something with the ball. And of course, the Redskins won the toss and deferred, so they will get it to start the second half as well.
And this has the makings, everything we thought it would be. You know, this game is going to go a long way with deciding who's going to be the WBL champion this year. And this is as wide open of a race as we've seen in years.
This one's going to go out of bounds, and that will draw another penalty marker.
And not as devastating as some of the other penalties that we saw earlier, but this was the 7th penalty of the game, of the half, for the Elida Bulldogs already, for almost 70 yards.
Yeah, and again, coming in, 32 penalties in total through their first 4 games, the Bulldogs.
And you have to look at that in context, and in context, that's the most penalties and penalty yardage in the Western Buckeye League. Again, that's unusual for a team that's 4-0. And they're going to make them re-kick this. We mentioned this last week. I prefer to do this. You know, if they're concerned about my kick return game, you know, I'm going to move you back 5 yards and make you do it again.
Well, and who knows, maybe they spring a return. It gives them a few seconds to try to take a shot towards the end zone.
And Gibson is a dangerous returner back there. You know that comes into play. You know, he's averaging nearly 35 yards a kick return.
I mean, right now, all signs to point to, if it's going to be, you know, anything in front of the 50-yard line, is probably just going to be a kneel down and go into the locker room. So you're right. Why not just kick it off and see what happens? And that's what Noah Adcock will do.
Oh, I'm not kicking off. See, I'm not kicking the ball number 4 right here.
And that's exactly who's going to get it at the 5-yard line as he tries to use some fancy footwork to get free. He breaks one tackle. Now he's going to be brought down at the 25.
So he made it pretty exciting there for a little bit, but nothing to really sweat about in the end for the Bulldogs. But as you mentioned, likely just one play here, whether it's a kneel or a pretty safe run play, and the Redskins will be, I'm sure, plenty happy on this homecoming game weekend to go into halftime with a 1-point lead.
12 seconds remaining. The Redskins do have all 3 of their.
So 12 seconds remaining until the halftime break. Again, the offense at a premium in that first quarter. We thought it was going to be big score line going into the halftime, but it slowed down a bit here in the second quarter as Brady Herbs lined up in the kneel down formation, and that's exactly what he'll do, and they won't have to run another play. So both teams will head to the locker room. Wapakoneta Redskins up by 1, 14-13 on the Elida Bulldogs in this Week 5 matchup from Harmon Field. We'll be back with the halftime report in just a few moments.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA. The Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today.
Casa Chic in Wapakoneta has what you need for game night. Cheer for our Redskins in sweatshirts, sweaters, handcrafted scarves, hats, and gloves. Casa Chic has a variety of vendors, each with a unique style of their own. From handcrafted pottery to knit items to an eclectic blend of home and garden decor to new and refurbished furniture for any room in your home. Come see what Casa Chic has for you.
Halftime here at Harmon Field, the Elida band outperforming. We have a 14-13 score at the moment with the Wapakoneta Redskins on top of the Elida Bulldogs. And let's go ahead and look at how we got to that score with our scoring summary. It was the Elida Bulldogs that started off the scoring off a 3-yard reception from Cole Harmon, capping off a 10-play, 65-yard drive in the first quarter. Then the Redskins responded with Rob Gerstner punching it in from 1 yard out. Then you had the screen pass to Evan Keck, 7 yards on the reception for Keck. Isaac McAdams then decides, I'll do it on my own with 22 seconds to go in the second quarter. He runs it for 13 yards on a 12-play, 85-yard drive, and then the missed point after attempt, a great block there by the special teams unit, get their hands in there, and that's how we get to our score of 14-13 in favor of the Wapakoneta Redskins. Let's go ahead and step into Sadler's Schoolhouse.
Yes, and we're going to take another look at this quarterback draw for the touchdown by Isaac McAdams. First of all, I want to point out that they have them outnumbered. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers, does Elida, but there's only 1, 2, 3, and then 4 defenders in the box to be able to defend this. So what they're going to do is they're going to try these guys up on the outside from the tackles, and then it's up to these 3 guys to block those 2 Redskins. Okay? Now we're going to run this just a little bit, and we're going to see, go ahead and stop. We're having center right here locked up, Dan Tullis with Brendan Knievy, and Knievy's going to win that battle. And then you have 2 guys here at the guard spot, both Seth Bailey and then Donnie Gibson, who's responsible for Evan Keck. So what really should happen is this should be locked up, and then he should have an easy path to the touchdown right there. But Knievy, go ahead and run it. Getting off forces McAdams to cut to the middle. Now, because you have an extra guy, go ahead and stop it for a second. You had that second tackle there to be able to guard, be able to block Knievy, excuse me, not Knievy, block Keck, to be able to help him still get to the end zone, even though he had to cut it more to the middle. So go ahead and finish it. By the time the Cavalry gets in there, led by Rob Gerstner, he's already broken the plane for a touchdown, even though the ball does come out there a little bit late, but it's too late for a touchdown, and the Bulldogs are able to get back within that score and within a point.
One of our favorite times of the game, Sadler Schoolhouse. And Paul, let's continue with this halftime report by looking at the stats in this one.
Okay, we're going to look at team stats, and the Elida Bulldogs has a big-time advantage in total yards, as you can see there on the Redskins. Individually, you have McAdams 14 for 19 passing for 143 yards and a touchdown, and he also is the leading rusher at 48 yards, Unruh right behind him with 42. Cole Harmon is the leading receiver, 6 catches for 56 yards plus that touchdown. Wapak is led by Apple with 39 yards, Gerstner 35, and Keck has 26.
And that's a look at our first half stats again here at Harmon Field. In week 5, it's the Wapakoneta Redskins up on the Elida Bulldogs 14-13. Back with the second half after these messages.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
If you're looking for the best in screen printing and embroidery, then look no further than Capware, Lima's original one-stop screen printing and embroidery shop. Whether you have a family or union or just trying to support our area teams, Capware has everything you need to let your true colors shine. If a more subtle look is what you desire, Capware has you covered there too, with a full selection of casual and corporate attire to keep you looking good. Ask about our full line of trophies and awards. No job too big or too small. Stop in today at 565 South Metcalf and let us cover your back. That's Capware, Lima's original since 1987.
Come out to Astro Lanes, where you can find great food, good drinks, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time. Dad's Toy Shop is Northwest Ohio's premier hobby shop located in downtown Wapakoneta and proudly supports Redskins athletics. Dad's Toy Shop, the one-stop shop for all your hobby needs. Stars and Stripes Graphics is your local screen printer located just east of the St. Mary's Memorial High School. Visit our showroom for all things Rough Rider, including jackets, sweatshirts, hats, sweatpants, ball caps, and more. We also carry items for New Knoxville Rangers and select collegiate gear for Ohio State and Michigan. Stars and Stripes Graphics, your local screen printer.
blackout here tonight at Harmon Field in the student section, and so far their Redskins lead it 14-13. As we're about to kick off the third quarter, Eli Alvarez and Paul Sadler with you for this Week 5 matchup between the Elida Bulldogs and Wapakoneta Redskins. As you get a look at the quarterback, Brady Erb, his team will have the ball first to start this second half, and they've got the lead. A crucial point after attempt blocked there at the end on that last touchdown by Elida. Right now it's an up in the air game and should be an exciting second half, Paul.
Yeah, and we talked about before that this will go a long ways to help determine the Western Buckeye League Championship in a wide open race. Right now Elida is tied with St. Mary's at the top with both 3-0, and this Redskin team only a game back at 2-1. And if they would be able to knock off the Bulldogs this week, and Elida still has to play St. Mary's, Wapak still has to play St. Mary's. I mean, just a lot of football to come. You know, this is shaping up to be an interesting race this year.
And that's actually where we'll be heading next week for our broadcast, to Skip Bachman Stadium, as the Bulldogs will be on the road once again to see the Rough Riders, who are battling Kenton this week, as both teams are ready. So we will kick this one off, and Noah Adcock will start it off with a big boot that'll go back and fielded in the end zone by Gibson. So a touchback out to the 20-yard line. Brady Erb and his offense will start from there.
Yes, and in high school football, unlike college and pros, as soon as the ball goes in the end zone, it's a dead ball touchback. You do not have the option to run it out of the end zone.
So that Redskins offense marches out onto the field. They were averaging 338 yards total offense per contest through their first 4.
And they were held underneath that in the first half with only 103 yards to their credit, but they do have 14 points to show for it.
So Brady Erb loses the ball, and it's free, and the Bulldogs think they have it, and I think they do too, as the ball was free for a few moments, and the official signal is going to give it to Elida in great field position.
And Dan Tullis, defensive tackle, and also starting at center, so going both ways. He's a first-team WBL defender last year, able to come up with that. We'll see what happens. It looks like Erb got bumped by a polling lineman, and it knocked it out. That is their 8th lost fumble of the year, and we're going to talk about keys or halftime adjustments. And one of the things I was going to say for Walpop was don't hurt yourself and keep the ball moving. In the first play from scrimmage, they put the ball on the ground.
So Isaac McAdams and his offense from the 17-yard line. Hand off to Unruh. Unruh patiently waits behind his offensive line and goes forward to about the 10-yard line.
And a little bit of a similar look defensively that we did on the Schoolhouse. However, an adjustment by the Redskins. They brought in their outside linebackers a little bit closer to the tackle box to try to help defend the run.
Unruh once again next to McAdams. And this time Isaac McAdams will keep it, breaks one tackle, and he'll be brought down close to the first down marker. I think he's got it.
McAdams has got some instincts of a natural running back, even though he's also a quarterback. Those are some good cuts reading his linemen, and Coach Speller's offense is in the red zone.
Well, he's got over 500 yards rushing coming into this contest. That's better than some of the running backs in the Western Buckeye League this year.
Well, he's the leading rusher of everybody, any position.
Mm-hmm.
He's not on that side gauge.
So a first down at the 6-yard line. McAdams gives it to Unruh. Unruh diving into the end zone, and just like that, the Elida Bulldogs capitalize off the turnover, and they take the lead with 10:52 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, with 1 minute and 8 seconds into this half, and they did not receive the kickoff, they are able to score and then retake the lead, going to the outside. Again, some nice blocking there, a double team actually by Harmon and Brown, I believe, there on the outside, helped spring them. And because of the missed extra point, the offense is staying on the field.
So they will go for 2 with McAdams and Unruh once again in the backfield. This one will be handed to Unruh, and he's going to be stopped by Gerstner. Now the line trying to push him forward, but he's not going to get in, and the defense stands tall for the Redskins.
So the missed extra point really staying in play again now, this time chasing that point, doesn't get it with a big stick by Gerstner.
So with the missed extra point, 19-14 is the score. Elida leads it here at Harmon Field.
TSC can save you money. How? TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet into one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think GA Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because GA Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, GA Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange GA Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Hello, Frost Roofing.
Frost Roofing holds the same core values our company was founded upon nearly 9 decades ago. We proudly provide quality craftsmanship and top-notch service to each client we serve. We're licensed by several major roofing manufacturers to give you the right recommendations at the best value for your investment. With state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and our honest way of doing business, Frost Roofing is our area's preferred commercial roofing experts. To learn more, visit frost-roofing.com or call 419-739-ROOF.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
So the Elida Bulldogs capitalize off the turnover and the great field position. Took them only 3 plays, 18 yards off the Daniel Unruh 7-yard run to take the lead here in the third quarter. And another great kick by Noah Adcock. This one lands in the end zone, and the Redskins will start over from the 20-yard line.
And that was Daniel Unruh's 6th rushing touchdown on the year. He came into the game second in the league in overall scoring because he also has 3 touchdowns receiving. So a big-time threat for the Bulldogs comes through again.
And it is a hot one out there for sure, as on both sidelines throughout the game we've seen players being treated for cramps and other things.
Yeah, well, you have a lot of players going both ways for both teams as well, Eli.
Herb will hand it off to Apple. He gets up, finds a hole across the 25.
Off tackle play been very successful. Pulled both backside guard and tackle, then you have to kind of kick it up, and they've been cutting it back, taking advantage of the pursuit of the defense.
So a 2nd down and 3 now for the Redskins, as Meeks will come in motion. It will be a handoff to Keck. Evan Keck looking to get the first down, and he's got it across the 30.
And, you know, this is what the Redskins need to do. You know, they need to just get positive gains on every play. You know, don't get negative plays. Obviously, don't put the ball on the ground. You know, stay penalty-free. You know, you can handle, you know, a 2-yard gain here and there as long as you get some of those 5- and 6-yard gains, and then just move the chains. And what that does is it keeps your offense on the field, and just as importantly, keeps that offense for Elida on the sideline.
Sometimes easier said than done, as this one will be a handoff to Apple once more. Apple up to the 35, where he's dropped down by a few Bulldogs.
Nice play there by Austin Kirk, able to shed his blocker and is right there to be able to make the play. Only a sophomore, but he is actually 3rd in tackles on this team.
If you go back and you look at the history books, Paul, and you look at the records and teams that have won the Western Buckeye League, 2 losses doesn't necessarily put you out of the chase, but it's going to put a big damper on. You're basically going to need other teams to lose as well. So that's what the Redskins are playing for, as they've already got the 1 Western Buckeye League loss this year.
Well, and it was last year, you had a 3-way tie with 3 teams that had 1 loss. So, obviously they're not knocked out by any means.
This is going to be a throw, and it's intercepted. Here comes the Bulldogs the other way, as breaking a few tackles and strolling into the end zone for the pick 6 is Little, and that's a huge shift in momentum.
Azariah Little able to get the pick 6, and Herb appeared to get pressure to him again. And that is a rough start for the Redskin offense as they've turned the ball over twice.
And Adcock will come out to try to extend the lead. So at the 8:56 mark in the 3rd quarter, Little, pick 6 on Brady Herb. Kick is on its way, and it is good. 26-14, the Elida Bulldogs lead it here in the 3rd quarter from Harmon Field.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler, with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community, with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
IC Signs designs, creates, and installs custom eye-catching signs. We use state-of-the-art technology to produce indoor and outdoor signs, LED message boards, and vehicle wraps. We can also help you with LED light conversion, sign refurbishing, custom t-shirts, promotional items, and your print needs. Whether you know what you want or have no idea, trust the experience of IC Signs. Call IC Signs at 419-738-6640.
So it's Isaiah Little for the Bulldogs off the pick 6 on the Brady Herb pass that gives them a even bigger lead. Here's the kickoff afterwards, another penalty marker in, and this one is going against the Redskins, it looks like. Yeah, 26-14, the Bulldogs lead it now, Paul.
Preliminary signal is going to be a hold. So we're going to take a look at that pick 6 play. It's going to start here, and you can start right there. Trey Roberts getting the pressure, getting up in the air, really affected the throw by Brady Herb. And you see how high up in the air he is. Herb had to get the ball up higher than he would have liked, and he ended up missing his target in Aaron Chambers then.
Well, now the offense is going to have to try to move with a little bit of urgency now as they trail by a touchdown and then some here. Hand off to Keck. Keck's got some room to run. Excuse me, that's Gerstner. Gerstner comes across the 25 and Bulls forward to about the 30.
And you got to remember, this team last week was down 20 points and came back and won by 2 touchdowns. So there's not going to be any panic in this Redskin team, but they do need to start executing. They don't have to get points right now, but it would be nice for them to get points. And if you do, you're only down 1 possession, and because of the missed extra point opportunities, you're actually within a chance of taking the lead with 2 scores.
So Gerstner, after the 15-yard carry, gets it once again, and he's got some more room to run as he's adding to his total across the 50-yard line.
Really nice individual effort. Running that off-tackle play that I've mentioned all night long, there's a small window there, and that window was getting closed very quick. Gerstner's able to escape it, as we can see here on the replay, and there's all kinds of traffic. He gets hit and spun around, maintains his feet, and gets across the 50-yard line.
24-yard pickup on the run. So ball spotted at the 48-yard line. This is a dive handoff to Miller. He breaks the tackle, and here he goes now as they continue to spread the ball around. This time Zach Bubba Miller with the carry in the first down.
And a second time in a row, we've seen the ball carrier with a little bit of contact spin out of it and get good yardage.
And that's going to fire up this crowd a little bit as they were starting to get quiet. Off the 12-yard pickup from Miller. Herb hands it off to Apple. Apple's going to lose yardage on this one.
A nice tackle down from behind is Michael Purdy. Coming into the game, he had 3.5 tackles for loss, going to add to that total right there. And he was a second-team All-WBL performer on the defensive line last year. So, again, all kinds of experience on this Elida team.
So what an answer by the offense so far. They dug themselves a little bit of a hole, and now they're starting to climb out of it. They'd love to see this one end in 6. Herb hands it off to Apple. Apple with room to run, and no one's going to catch him as he's going to go in for the touchdown, and the Redskins are right back in this one.
And the Redskins have been dominant off tackle so far this game, and this time they're able to take it all the way to the house. And as I mentioned, as bad as things were because of the missed extra points, you kick the extra point here, you're a touchdown away from retaking the lead and a lot of ball game left.
Mitch Apple, 37 yards on the run. Makes it a 26-20 ball game, and Gessler on to try to make it 26-21.
59 goes off the clock. It's an 87.
Kick on its way, and it's right down Broadway. So the Redskins back into this one. It's 26-21. They trail the Elida Bulldogs here in Week 5 at Harmon Field.
Hello?
Call dropped?
Hello?
No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is a full-service insurance and financial services agency offering insurance coverage for your auto, home, business, life, and health. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency represents a carefully selected group of financially sound, reputable insurance companies to place your policy with a company offering the best coverage at the best price. Contact Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency at 419-739-4000.
The Stolly Insurance Group, growing and looking out for you.
Whether it's your personal insurance, business insurance, or life and health insurance, let Stolly Insurance look out for you.
We're fortunate enough to represent over 50 different insurance companies. We have access to major insurance companies all over the country, so you will receive the best coverage for the best premiums.
Stolly Insurance proudly represents Auto Owners Insurance Company and other fine companies.
Stolly Insurance, looking out for you.
Mitch Apple with the 37-yard run, capping off a 5-play, 87-yard drive, and he's got his team down by only 5 now here in this third quarter, Paul.
Yeah, and a really exciting answer for as bad as things went with the first 2 possessions of this second half for the Redskins to put together, what was that, 87-yard drive?
Yep.
In an impressive fashion, and the Redskins are right back at it.
So Luke Beach will kick it off once again for the Redskins.
And you know the Bulldogs, when they get it back, they're not going to be in protect mode either. They're going to continue to attack and do what they've done all year.
Yeah, for them, the best defense is offense. As Beach puts a drive into this one, it's going to be fielded just short of the 10-yard line, and here comes the Bulldogs now looking to set up in field position off the return from Callan Henderson.
And it's trivia time. We're going to look at trivia sponsored by Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Pretty straightforward one. What current WBL member has gone the longest since their WBL championship? And even though it's not on there, what year was that?
Huh. The longest. Well, I know you can rule out St. Mary's and Wapakoneta OG.
Yes.
Obviously.
That leaves you 7 choices.
That leaves me 7. Leaves me 7 choices.
1989.
As we see McAdams keep it here, AJ's going to say Defiance. I'm going to go, since they're here on, I'm going to go with Elida. I think they've got maybe one title.
Do you have a year?
I don't want to sound.
Oh, that's
like
the best part
of talking about, but I'm going to say 72 maybe.
72?
72. I'm going to say Elida 72.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to go with. So we'll find out in a moment. 2nd down and 7 for McAdams. He'll throw. Has all the time in the world, and now he decides to run with it, and he's going to be knocked out short of the first down.
Yeah, he was actually looking for a receiver on the left-hand side, and he got bumped out of bounds, so he had no one to go to.
So 6:10 to go in the third quarter, 26-21. Bulldogs on top here at Harmon Field. Again, we'll see these Bulldogs next week, as we'll be taking the truck down to Skip Bachman Stadium for that Week 6 clash between the Rough Riders and the Elida Bulldogs. But right now, the Bulldogs have a 3rd down and 3 to deal with. McAdams sending a man in motion. And now he'll throw it. He's got his intended receiver, and it's going to be enough for a first down, as that's Cole Harmon.
Yeah, what a catch. That was thrown behind him. That is a very hard catch to make by Cole Harmon. Running slant pattern, reaching behind him and be able to make the catch just to move the chains.
Well, it's not named after him, but Cole Harmon feels right at home here at Harmon Field.
Yep.
Is there no longer a play clock over there? 7.
So first down now for the Bulldogs. McAdams hands it off to Unruh. Unruh's going to be dropped in the backfield for a loss of yards.
Bubba Miller, as I mentioned, he had 3 sacks in the first half and also led the WBL in tackles for loss, and he added to that total right there on that play.
Well, let's go ahead and find out how wrong I was.
Well, the team, one of you was right.
Uh-oh.
And it is Elida.
Hey.
Back in 1982, that was not only their last WBL championship, it was their only WBL championship. So a big drought wanting to be ended by this particular Elida Bulldog team. You realize that a few years ago with Isaac's brother Reggie McAdams at the helm, they had some really good football teams a few years ago. In fact, there's a flag down.
Flag down, but off to the races goes Harmon. This one might be coming back. He's running into the end zone for the score at the moment.
If it stands, that would be a 68-yard touchdown.
And yeah, Harmon went down. Look in the back of the end zone. He grabbed his leg, pulled up, and they're calling the medical personnel out. But both teams are already heading back to the original spot. Let's see what the official call.
Oh, they picked it up.
They picked it. Wow. So they're going to give the touchdown. My goodness.
So Harmon and McAdams connect for the second time tonight. The first one was a short little screen pass. This one was on a really long one, and we all kind of was anticlimactic about it because we thought it was going to be called back. But in this case, a big answer for the biggest play so far of the evening for the Bulldogs. Harmon showing why he was a first-team All-Leaguer last year.
Where you see him pull up at the end, grabbing his
cramp.
his right calf. The special teams units out there like they're going to kick, but they're still working on Harmon behind the end zone, so they're going to have to wait until he comes off the field.
Well, in the meantime, to kind of finish up my thought, those Reggie McAdam teams from a few years ago were great teams. They made the playoffs, but they never did win the WBL title. Now, the WBL had some really talented teams led by especially Kenton with Matty Mock, but OG was, and we see another replay here, kind of splitting the defense. But that team actually in 2011 went to the state semifinals. So they have experienced some postseason success here in recent history for the Elida Bulldogs, but again have not won a WBL title since the 1980s. And I don't want to give away something, Eli, but I'm pretty sure that's before you were born.
I think that's safe to say. I'm just happy that I got the team right. I was only 10 years off on the year. I think it took me 5 weeks, but starting to figure this out now.
Yeah,
you'll throw me a curveball next week.
We might have to. I might not want to always try to include the teams that we were playing here on the trivia question.
See, that was my only thing. As you see Harmon hopping off there, and we certainly hope he'll be able to get back out there. The Bulldogs certainly hope as well.
And as mentioned, it's been unusually hot. We had an unusually cool two-a-day weather.
Yeah.
So they haven't experienced. It was 90 today. It was in the mid-80s here at kickoff.
So Adcock, once again, out there for the PATs. His only miss of the year came earlier in this contest off a blocked attempt. Good snap, and kick is good as well. So 33-21, the Bulldogs extend their lead here in the third quarter. Back with more after this on Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA. The Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today.
Casa Chic in Wapakoneta has what you need for game night. Cheer for our Redskins in sweatshirts, sweaters, handcrafted scarves, hats, and gloves. Casa Chic has a variety of vendors, each with a unique style of their own. From handcrafted pottery to knit items to an eclectic blend of home and garden decor to new and refurbished furniture for any room in your home. Come see what Casa Chic has for you.
So the Bulldogs off a 68-yard reception from Cole Harmon, capped off a 5-play, 74-yard drive, and they now lead it 33-21 as they'll kick it off to the Redskins, and Mitch Apple chases it down, but it goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Paul, we talked about it on the last drive, stay calm, cool, and collective. Now I mean, that's still probably the mantra for this offense, but you got to think there is still a lot of time left. But if this offensive Elida is going to keep putting points on the board like that, you're going to have to do something offensively to answer them right here.
You know, offense just continues to need to do what they need to do. Okay, put drives together, move the chains. You know, if you can hit that big play and hit the touchdown, that's great. But just there's plenty of time. You've shown that you can come back in the past. Once you do score, if you do score, you know, then you'll have to worry about it with your defense at that time. But again, you just can't hurt yourself and give that short field to that offense again.
Mitch Apple with a nice run. They've been giving it to him quite a bit tonight, and he's proving worthy of it every time he touches it.
And again, just running off tackle again and looking to cut the ball back for the pursuit of Elida, you know, having a lot of success, even though, you know, you look at it man for man, as big as Elida, as big as Walpock's offensive line has been here recently, you know, they are really outsized by that front line of the Elida Bulldogs.
2nd down and 1. As this will be a handoff once again to Apple. Once again, he's picking up a nice chunk of yards. He's got the 1st down.
And again, we don't really chart this, but the percentage of positive plays going off tackle is really, really high for the Redskins.
The clock goes down to 4 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter of play. First down from the 34-yard line. Handoff to Apple again. Apple again, a nice solid pickup, and he's still going. He's got a couple men to beat, and he's going to be dropped across the 30-yard line. Mitch Apple putting the offense on his back here on this drive.
Yeah, that time Xavier Gilkey chases him down for a touchdown-saving tackle, as again the Redskins got a lot of their mojo going on the ground. You see, again, once again, just going off tackle, reading his blocks, pulling the backside guard and tackle, and then cutting it up. That time, he had to cut it to the outside and cutting it back to the middle. But tremendous 38-yard run.
And he gets a well-deserving break as Gerstner and Keck are in the backfield. Gerstner's going to get it. He's met by 2 Bulldogs, and he's going to be dropped down around the line of scrimmage.
That time Bailey and Gray combined to be able to make the play, and usually those guys have been kind of caught off in the mix. They came in unblocked that time.
So again, the offense responding well after a big play touchdown by the Bulldogs.
Apple 10 carries, 138 yards.
Apple up to 138 yards and only 10 carries so far, Eli.
Right now it's Gerstner and Keck in the backfield. He's getting a rest, Apple is, as Gerstner's going to try to carry it once more. Gerstner up to the 25, just shy of it, where he's going to be knocked back for a 3rd down now.
And the Bulldog defense right there that time. So 2 plays in a row, they've held the Redskins in check. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 8. However, we'd like to talk about 4-down territory. You know, when you're down 12 in this type of situation, there's no doubt, you know, this is going to be 4-down territory. So not a big deal if you don't pick everything up here on this particular play.
Clock comes down to 2:10. Remaining in the 3rd quarter. Erb under center. He'll pitch it off to Evan Keck. He's got a hole, busts through it, and he's still moving down to the 15-yard line, and he's going to move the chains as well.
And I think the average runner would have been knocked down right there on that head on the knee, or head on the legs around the 20-yard line, and that would have been short of the 1st down right here. Boom. I think most people would have went down, but Keck is able to keep his feet just long enough to get not only the extra few yards, but the definite chain-moving yardage.
And the key word there is average. Evan Keck is not your average sophomore running back. As whistles blowing for an official timeout. Checking out a Bulldog player down there on the field.
It's Gilkey. That's the player that made the chase down on Apple a few plays ago. Don't know if he's shaken up or if it's something to do with the heat.
It's good to see him able to walk off under his own power. Coach Travis Moyer and his offense tries to figure out what to do here on this 1st and 10 from the 15.
And Travis Moyer here in his 4th season here at Wapakoneta. experienced a lot of success, nothing but WBL titles for him so far as head man.
Keck, ball carrier once again, breaking another tackle and ramming forward down to about the 7-yard line.
You know what, I'm not sure I remember a play so far when Keck running the ball where he doesn't finish with his pads going forward. You know, he does not appear to ever get pushed backwards.
And that's why he keeps getting the ball. That's why he's still in there with Gerstner. Ball on the 8-yard line. Flags fly, and the Bulldogs jumped off sides there.
Yeah, I couldn't tell for sure, but I believe that's Seth Bailey, the big 315-pounder, and I mean big. I mean 6'7" is in big.
I almost, when I first got the roster and I saw that, I almost thought it was a typo, Paul. But yeah, he's all of 6'7" and then some.
You know, I know they're on defense right now, but their defensive front, I think, matches weight-wise, you know, some small colleges. I mean, I really do. They're huge.
As Erb will hand this one off to Gerstner. Gerstner diving into the end zone for the score, and the Redskins once again responding to the explosive offense of the Bulldogs with 40 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And Gerstner hits that seam going to the outside, and once again, the Redskins showing that, hey, we can run the ball and we can score some points too, as Gerstner finds the end zone once again.
Running back to the end zone, you got to count on him getting into 8 penalties for 74 yards.
It's Tristan Gessler on to add to this, and that's exactly what he'll do. So 33-28, the Bulldogs still lead it, but there's still hope for the Redskins. We'll be back here on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
If you're looking for the best in screen printing and embroidery, then look no further than Capware, Lima's original one-stop screen printing and embroidery shop. Whether you have a family or union or just trying to support our area teams, Capware has everything you need to let your true colors shine. If a more subtle look is what you desire, Capware has you covered there too, with a full selection of casual and corporate attire to keep you looking good. Ask about our full line of trophies and awards. No job too big or too small. Stop in today at 565 South Metcalf and let us cover your back. That's Capware, Lima's original since 1987.
Come out to Astro Lanes, where you can find great food, good drinks, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time. Dad's Toy Shop is Northwest Ohio's premier hobby shop located in downtown Wapakoneta and proudly supports Redskins athletics. Dad's Toy Shop, the one-stop shop for all your hobby needs. Stars and Stripes Graphics is your local screen printer located just east of the St. Mary's Memorial High School. Visit our showroom for all things Rough Rider, including jackets, sweatshirts, hats, sweatpants, ball caps, and more. We also carry items for New Knoxville Rangers and select collegiate gear for Ohio State and Michigan. Stars and Stripes Graphics, your local screen printer.
Student section's fired up. Their team still trails at 33-28, but Rob Gerstner just ran it in for his second rushing touchdown of the night. A 4-yard run capped off an 8-play, 50-yard drive for the Redskins. And now they'll kick it back off to the Bulldogs, and we'll see if this Redskins defense can build on that momentum and get a stop here, Paul.
Yeah, and what a third quarter this has been. There's been a combined 34 points between the two teams. The Redskins only had 103 yards rushing at halftime. They have 160 already in this quarter, and that's after fumbling the first play from scrimmage.
Ball fielded around the 5-yard line. Here comes Unruh up to the 30. Another penalty marker down, as Unruh is going to be knocked down at the 35.
And if this is on the Bulldogs, which we expect it to be, that will be their 9th penalty.
Flags on play.
For, I believe, 84 yards.
They've just been shooting themselves in the foot all night with these penalties, but they still lead it. And as you mentioned, not only that, but through the first 4 games they were doing this as well, and they're still undefeated.
Yeah, the only positive I'll spin on this on a special team is it's still 1st and 10, regardless whether there's a penalty or not. But obviously you lose field position, but there's a big difference between getting a penalty when it's still 1st and 10 and getting a penalty where it's 1st and 20.
So 32 seconds remain in this third quarter as McAdams will give it off. This time coming up the near sideline, being knocked down is Calvin Brown.
And it's a really good read by McAdams. You could see he was Miller was left unblocked, and he's looking right at him, and he made the correct decision to give the ball.
As the clock will continue to run, the Bulldogs do not have to run a play here, and they will not as they head to the sidelines and will head to the fourth quarter as the Elida Bulldogs lead it 33-28 over the Wapakoneta Redskins in this Week 5 Western Buckeye League matchup.
TSC can save you money. How? TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge Bundle Plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge Bundle Plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
When you see an orange truck, you think G.A. Windsor & Son Company. But the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, we want you to think green. Why green? Because G.A. Windsor & Son are the original recyclers. Using a modern fleet of trucks, G.A. Windsor & Son Company collects food co-products from restaurants, food retailers, and food manufacturers in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and Kentucky. These food co-products are used to manufacture quality livestock and pet care feed ingredients. So the next time you see an orange G.A. Windsor & Son truck, think green.
Hello, Frost Roofing.
Frost Roofing holds the same core values our company was founded upon nearly 9 decades ago. We proudly provide quality craftsmanship and top-notch service to each client we serve. We're licensed by several major roofing manufacturers to give you the right recommendations at the best value for your investment. With state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and our honest way of doing business, Frost Roofing is our area's preferred commercial roofing experts. To learn more, visit frost-roofing.com or call 419-739-ROOF.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Back here at Harmon Field, 33-28. The Elida Bulldogs on top of the Wapakoneta Redskins in this Week 5 contest. Eli Alvarez and Paul Sadler alongside you as we're about to start the fourth quarter of play. Teams have switched sides of the field, and it will be the Bulldogs' ball at the 23 on a 2nd down and 7. Hand off to Unruh. Unruh leaping over his defender, brought down, and the ball comes loose as well, but now the officials are going to signal that they were down. Walpock says they have it, but the official says
the important thing of the pointing was the referee pointing to the ground, so it doesn't matter what the players point to, but we see that's probably a little bit too late on the replay, but we see Unruh going skyborne. And yeah, the ball was in his hand, and when he hit the ground, and the elbow contacted, which would make him down. But a little bit of misdirection. That's the first time we've seen that kind of play where they faked the jet sweep, then gave the ball to Unruh going the other way. So this brings up a 3rd and 1.
It's just good to see Unruh back out there after taking a shot like that. 3rd down and 1. McAdams by himself. We'll see if he decides to do it with his legs, but first a flag comes down, and it's because the play clock ran out.
And that is a killer on a 3rd and 1 to take a delay a game. Now, there's a big difference between 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 6. And I was about to say that they once again had the box outnumbered if they wanted to just have McAdams keep the ball. You'd almost assuredly get a yard at least on that. But 3rd and 6 is going to big time change it. The 10th penalty of the game for the Bulldogs.
79 total yards as well. It's been a killer for him. As McAdams will throw it up the middle of the field, and he had a wide open receiver in Devin Barnett, but he dropped it.
Yeah, it might have been nitpicking a little bit behind him as he just found him in a little bit of the distraction drill. Keck probably blocked his vision for a split second, but yeah, that was a game-changing miss right there for the Bulldogs, because now they're going to kick the ball away in a 5-point game.
As Mitch Apple and Riley Gibson will be back to try to return this punt. Nice punt. It's going to be fielded at the 40 by Gibson. Room to run. Ankle tackle just shy of the 50.
Nice tackle there by Marcel Poe, only a sophomore. Got into the legs of Gibson before he could kind of really get going. But still, excellent field position for the Redskins. Again, playing on their home field on homecoming against an undefeated team. Now has the ball near midfield, only down 5 here towards the beginning of the 4th quarter.
So we'll see what they'll do with this field position, Paul.
So as bad as things started there in the 3rd quarter with a fumble and then a pick 6, you're still in a position where you can kind of control the game.
Herb will hand this one off to Apple. Apple continuing to move his legs, and he moves the pile across the 50.
Okay, and that's about 3 out of the last 4 plays where the Elida Bulldogs has defended that off-tackle counter play about as good as they've been, although that's still about a 4-yard gain. But, the Redskins, that has been their bread and butter play tonight.
2nd down and 6 here in the 4th quarter. Clock down to about 11 minutes. Brady Erb under center once again. Hands it off to Apple. Apple trying to bounce it outside, and he's going to be dropped at the original line of scrimmage back at around the 47.
And that's outside backer Billy Johns, a junior, making that play for a tackle for loss. And again, as mentioned, that's what the Redskins have to avoid. Almost got out of that tackle, but John's able to make him get him down to the ground.
Keck is in the backfield alongside Apple as Herb looks to the sideline for the play call.
Elida showing some blitz here.
5 seconds to get this one off, and the offense is going to call a timeout with 10:17 to go in this 4th quarter. We'll take a break as well. Back with more from Harmon Field.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
IC Signs designs, creates, and installs custom eye-catching signs. We use state-of-the-art technology to produce indoor and outdoor signs, LED message boards, and vehicle wraps. We can also help you with LED light conversion, sign refurbishing, custom t-shirts, promotional items, and your print needs. Whether you know what you want or have no idea, trust the experience of IC Signs. Call IC Signs at 419-738-6640.
To 28, the Bulldogs faithful that have made the trip from Elida, loving it right now that their team's on top. There's the homecoming crowd, as it is homecoming night here in Wapak.
And a big third down here, only the 5th third down of the game for Wapak. They've been converting 3 of them, but this is a big one, 3rd and 9.
Herb will roll out, looking to go deep. He's got a man in Gibson. Can he get it to him? And he does, and Riley Gibson down to about the 6-yard line.
By far the biggest passing play of the game for the Redskins on a 3rd and 9. Their most athletic playmaker, and Riley Gibson gets behind the Bulldogs, and now they're inside the 10-yard line. What a conversion, and what a pass by Brady Herb.
44-yard reception. Everybody holding their breath as that one floated in the air. 1st down and 8 now. Hand off to Gersner. He's going forward. Not going to get much on that one.
And Wapak over 275 yards on the ground already. They came into the game averaging 245. When you felt that they were kind of held in check a little bit at halftime, that big 3rd quarter, have really put their stamp on the game. And once again, with this being a 5-point game because of the missed extra points, you are 8 yards away from potentially taking the lead.
We'll see what they do on this 2nd down. Herb sending a man in motion. He's going to give it to Keck. Keck going forward to the 5. So now a 3rd down for the Redskins and 5 yards to the goal line.
And this is going to be whether it takes 1 play or 2 plays. I don't think that this is a field goal option when you're playing the team the caliber of the Elida Bulldogs. You're this close and a touchdown takes the lead. You need to get the ball in the end zone.
Wapak 4 of 6 on 3rd down conversions so far tonight.
And obviously a really big one was on that pass to Gibson just a couple plays ago.
Mitch Apple and Evan Keck in the backfield as Coach Travis Moyer, he runs halfway out onto the field to get that timeout with 8:31 to go in the 4th quarter. And they want to talk this one over, Paul. He saw something he didn't like there.
Yeah, he saw something he didn't like, and this is too important. Again, they used one just a little bit ago, but this is obviously a very important part of the ball game. You have the chance to be able to take the lead, going into your own student section here. We're going to watch a replay of that long pass play. You can see rolling out to his left, throws it up, and Gibson able to haul the ball in a little bit.
Man, I feel like that ball hung in the air forever before it finally was caught by Riley Gibson. He had to come back for it just a bit, but that's a huge play that could go a long way into determining this outcome of this ball game.
Yeah, and they're going to need some more huge plays right now as we see Keck and Bubba Miller are both in the ball game, which tells me if you got those 2 bruisers in there, they're going to look to try to run the ball and be pretty physical with it. And I think that's the right play. Use your physical runners as best you can, and you had a lot of success running the ball off tackle. See if you can do it again.
So the offense back out on the field after the timeout. We'll see what they draw up.
Again, you can see student body very into it there in the background.
Biggest play of the game so far. Redskins looking to take the lead here on homecoming.
Full house backfield.
Apple's going to have it. Apple's going to go forward, and Apple's going to get into the end zone. How about that? Redskins back up on top.
And a little bit of power, old-fashioned football for the Redskins, going to the old-fashioned full house or T formation, running off tackle, and they're actually going to go for 2 here because a 1 point only gives you a 2-point lead, but by going for 2, that forces it so that if Elida would kick a field goal, it would be a tie and not a loss. So the offense staying out there for the Redskins. But the important thing is, by the touchdown and the 6 points, they do own a 1-point lead regardless.
What a big drive orchestrated by Coach Travis Moyer and his offense to take the lead.
And that should be a penalty.
They're not going to blow the whistles. Apple's going to get it, and again into the end zone. How about them Apples?
Yeah, and Coach Speller is upset, and rightfully so. The Redskins broke the huddle with 12 members, and Riley Gibson, that 12th guy, runs off the field. That should be an illegal substitution penalty, and just kind of a missed call there for the Bulldogs.
36-33, Walpock leads it here in the fourth quarter from Harmon Field.
Hello?
Call dropped?
Hello?
No more minutes? Lost your phone? Don't worry. Telephone service from TSC is always crystal clear. Never runs out of minutes. Never has a dead battery. And most importantly, in an emergency, it displays your address for 911. Plus, TSC keeps you connected with free calling in our expanded calling area. Ask about telephone service from TSC today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is a full-service insurance and financial services agency offering insurance coverage for your auto, home, business, life, and health. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency represents a carefully selected group of financially sound, reputable insurance companies to place your policy with a company offering the best coverage at the best price. Contact Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency at 419-739-4000.
The Stolly Insurance Group, growing and looking out for you.
Whether it's your personal insurance, business insurance, or life and health insurance, let Stolly Insurance look out for you.
We're fortunate enough to represent over 50 different insurance companies. We have access to major insurance companies all over the country, so you will receive the best coverage for the best premiums.
Stolly Insurance proudly represents Auto Owners Insurance Company and other fine companies.
Stolly Insurance, looking out for you.
Mitchell Apple doing it by himself once again. He caps off the 6-play, 55-yard drive with a 5-yard run, and then he gets in for the 2-point conversion as well. As off the kickoff, it's muffed for a moment by Brown. Now he's going to try to dance around, and that just gives more time for the special teams unit to get down there and stop him at the 10-yard line.
And momentum is wearing red right now for the Redskins, as Elida is going to start with poor field position. And really, obviously, the difference in this game are extra points. And people take them for granted, but a blocked extra point and then a missed 2-point conversion and then a converted 2-point conversion for the Redskins is the difference in this 3-point lead. Now, the Bulldogs, I'm sure, are upset a little bit about that last 2-point conversion, but the bottom line is, if you get the ball in the end zone, it doesn't matter. So, they need to kind of stay in and, hey, let's do what we do and get the ball down the field. But obviously the Redskins defense, they're looking to step up and get a stop here and then get the ball back to their offense here in the fourth quarter. If they're able to get a stop, whether it's a 3-and-out or even down the field a little bit further, if they can just end this drive for the Bulldogs without points, this will go a long way for them to be able to win this ball game.
Handoff on the first play to Unruh. Still moving it. past the chains, and now more as he goes up across the 40. Blocks all in front of him, and he's down at the 50-yard line.
Well, a 40-yard run will do a lot to get you out of a hole of bad field position, as we know that this is the top offense in the Western Buckeye League, and they are not going to give up without a fight. As we know, they have been through battles before. A couple weeks ago against Salina, they were trailing late, came all the way back and kicked a field goal to end up winning that game 45-43. So they have been in some battles here already recently in this Western Buckeye League season.
McAdams hands it off to Unruh. Again, Daniel Unruh this time only going forward for about one. And Paul, the Elida Bulldogs are no stranger to close contests. Again, we talked about that matchup at Salina 2 weeks ago. Noah Adcock, game-winning field goal as time expires. So they've been in this position before.
And on that last play, good stop there by the Redskins. Even though Gerstner made the play after 1 yard gain, it was really Bubba Miller with the penetration that threw off the timing of that play.
2nd down and 9. McAdams is going to keep it himself this time, dancing around up to the 45 where he's going to be dropped down, bringing up a 3rd and 5.
Well, a lot of times when you see that action in the backfield, it's a zone read and he's actually reading what happens. That time it was a called quarterback keeper and he's just using that as a play fake. You can kind of tell that because they were pulling the guard on a trap going to that way. So this brings up a 3rd down.
Bulldogs are 4 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. They started this game 3 of 3 on conversions from 3rd down, and they're not going to get it again here as that run is swallowed up by Bubba Miller once more.
It is, and this is going to bring up a 4th and what I would consider reasonable, and Coach Speller, I'm assuming, is going to keep his offense out there as we're reaching the 6-minute-plus mark of the 4th quarter. You know, this might be their last best opportunity.
The Walpock faithful rise to their feet as they know how big of a stand this is if their defense can hold. McAdams all by himself, looking to throw. He's got Brown, and Brown holds on, and he's got the 1st down.
And I don't know exactly how Coach Speller runs his plays, if he lets him have some latitude out there, but that was definitely either the right call or the right read. I think a lot of times you would call the quarterback draw there, but that time they were showing blitz. And when they show blitz, that should be the read of trying to hit the underneath pass really quickly, and that's what McAdams did.
So 11-yard pickup for Brown. 1st down and 10 from the 32-yard line. And Unruh will get it once more. Bounces it to the outside, and Gerstner's going to bring him down. Now he's going to get some help from his friends, and he goes flying out over on the Elida sideline, and the Bulldogs want a foul, but they're not going to get one.
No, but that was a good run because Jacob Place was right there at the line of scrimmage, and he was kind of tied up a little bit with some contact in the block, but seemed to defeat him, and they were still able to get around and get a gain of about 5 yards. As we can see right there, Place was in a place to be able to make the play, and Gerstner makes the play out on the sideline.
Hand off to Unruh once again. Daniel Unruh diving forward, or at least working forward, and I think the spot is going to be close. We'll see if they move the chains, as they're going to take a...
Yeah, it's a 1st down. And I'm really surprised with, on this important of a drive, how ground-based the Bulldogs have been. You know, almost everything except for that 4th down play has been on the ground for, you know, a team that's known for the pass as much as, you know, Elida is, and I know they're balanced, but when the game on the line, you know, they've been putting the ball in the hands of Daniel Unruh and McAdams on the ground primarily.
Ball just outside the red zone. McAdams will keep it. He gets inside of the red zone and then some up to the 16-yard line. As time continues to run down, now to 5 minutes
And Coach Speller feeling a hot hand on the ground, and sometimes, you know, coordinators do that and coaches do that where it's not what they originally planned on doing, but it's working, so they're staying with it.
McAdams, 16 carries, 70 yards.
Isaac McAdams doing a little bit of everything tonight. 16 carries for him in this one as he dumps this one off to Daniel Unruh. Unruh, 3 Redskins bring him down as they all collide together.
And that'll be a real short gain, but it will get them a little bit closer to the sticks, but it will bring up a 3rd down and short. They're going to call it 1 up here, but I think it's a kind of a long one. You know, we'll look at the box here. Remember last time they had a 3rd and 1, they actually committed a delay of game penalty. But to me, this is a good time to be able to just kind of keep the ball, you know, between the tackles. As you can see, only 3 down linemen for the Redskins.
Unruh back there with McAdams. Flags fly. And it's a fall start going against the Bulldogs.
So I didn't see who the guilty party was on that case, but
you jinxed them, Paul.
Yeah. The 11th penalty on the Elida Bulldogs. Compare that to only 2 penalties for the Redskins.
84 yards.
Nope, there we see it right there. A little flinch on the guard.
Now a 3rd and 6. Ball goes back to the 18-yard line.
Once again, 4 down territory. Not going to panic.
McAdams hands it on. No, he keeps it this time. And guess who brings him down? Zach Bubba Miller.
Zach Bubba Miller. And this is going to bring up an interesting decision. You didn't get very much. So it's going to be a 4th down and probably, what, about 5? Clock is running. You're down 3. That would be it'd be a long field goal. And it looks like they're going to keep the offense out there and trust his senior playmaker at quarterback.
Both sidelines starting to get rowdy.
It's going to be a timeout by Elida to talk it over.
So they'll take that timeout with 2:59 to go. And Paul, they have the option of Noah Adcock. You know it's a long field goal, but again, he hit that pressure game-winning field goal against the Bulldogs 2 weeks ago. And
well, that was to win it as opposed to tie it.
Mm-hmm.
I like this right here. You have a chance to. I know it's only 6. I know it's 6 yards, and that's not easy. But you have a senior quarterback who's very experienced that can hurt you a lot of different ways. You know, I would be surprised if it would be a pass is what it should be, and let him make the right decision. And if he doesn't like it, he's good enough to where he can tuck it down and be able to kind of make a play with his legs as well. You know, unfortunately, you probably take the called run out of the picture because you didn't gain very much on that last down. And once again, a mistake, this time only be a 5-yard penalty, you know, it really comes into play big time.
Big difference in student sections as the Walpock faithful all smiles. More nervousness over there for the Elida kids. As Isaac McAdams by himself looking to throw. Screen play and the ball's knocked down. And what a defensive stand. That time, Colin Goulet knocks it down.
We've seen teams have a lot of success with those slip screens. Colin Goulet reads it, gets up in the air, and he uses that 6'2" frame to be able to knock the football down. And the Redskins are 2:55 away from potentially knocking off the undefeated Elida Bulldogs.
We said it.
Here we see a replay. It was set up. The Redskins did appear they were going to go ahead and cover it maybe anyway, as they seem to be prepared for that play. But still, first of all, this game is not over. The Redskins, if they just continue to move the chains, they can control this and put this game away. And Elida has only 2 timeouts left, having used one just there in that last drive.
Hand off to Apple. Apple trying to find a hole, and he's going to be stopped at around the 20. Paul, we said it in the pregame. Throw the records out of the books, throw the past few weeks out of the books. These two teams are on the up and up now after the first few weeks of the season, and it's been a great contest to this point.
It has, and obviously Wapak has gotten the better of this rivalry here recently. They've won the last 4 games, and overall they lead at 29-16. But the most important thing is this year. Elida believes it's their year. It's their turn to try to end that drought of WBL titles since 1982, and the Redskins aren't ready to relinquish their throne yet.
Apple will get it once more. He's going to be hit, and he's still moving as he gets it down close to the 24.
Elida opting to not use one of their 2 timeouts at this point, as the clock's going to continue to run under 2 minutes here. That's going to bring up about a 3rd and 5, and really this is almost the ball game. If they are able to move the chains, they're probably going to be able to put the game away by just running the clock. But Elida can give their opponent offense a chance if they can get a stop here.
4 yards to go for the first down. Herb looking to the sideline. 1 second to get the play off, and he does. He hands it off, and it's not going to be enough for the first down as Evan Keck tried to dive forward there. And a timeout is going to be taken by the Bulldogs. And we'll take one as well with 1:19 to go here in this final quarter. 36-33, Redskins lead it.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA. The Wapakoneta Daily News, bringing you local news and more since 1905. With subscriptions starting at just 35 cents a day, the Wapakoneta Daily News is Wapak's source for timely local coverage of news, sports, classifieds, entertainment, and more. The Wapakoneta Daily News. Subscribe online today.
Casa Chic in Wapakoneta has what you need for game night. Cheer for our Redskins in sweatshirts, sweaters, handcrafted scarves, hats, and gloves. Casa Chic has a variety of vendors, each with a unique style of their own. From handcrafted pottery to knit items to an eclectic blend of home and garden decor to new and refurbished furniture for any room in your home. Come see what Casa Chic has for you.
And unbelievably, I think Coach Moyer's got his offense out there.
4th down and 2. Ball on their own 26-yard line with 1:19 to go and a 3-point lead. And the Wapakoneta Redskins are going for it.
And if you pick this up, the game is basically over.
And it looks like Brady Erb might just be trying to draw that defense off sides. As the play clock runs down and they got to call a timeout.
But you know what? That's worth a try. You know, if Elida's shown that they will jump off sides from time to time and have a penalty.
Yep.
So it's worth a timeout to try to see, hey, if they jump, it's a first down, game's over. You know, that's worth trying that. Now, it didn't work, and that's okay. So what's more than likely going to happen now is you're going to trust in your coverage team on the punt, and you're going to trust on your defense to be able to try to put this game away. From the Bulldogs' perspective, your defense apparently did what it needed to do, and to get the ball back to your potent offense, you're going to have a minute 19 with one timeout left to try to go a significant amount of the field. It is a three-point game. You could be in a position where you could kick a field goal to tie it, but obviously your goal is to get into that end zone to try to win the football game.
Ball does have 2 punts for an average of 51 yards.
And it should be pointed out that Rickenbaugh has punted the ball twice, and it has not been fielded either time. So he has an average of over 50 yards per punt. And I think it would be very imperative to catch this ball in the air for Elida.
Well, Chris Rickenbaugh heads out there with the rest of the punting unit. Punt on its way. It's high, and it's not going to be fielded again, and it's going to roll once again, and still rolling down to about the 20-yard line where Mitch Apple will field it, and Elida has to go quite a ways in a minute 6 if they want to do anything in this contest.
And again, by not catching that ball in the air, you cost yourself at least 15 yards and probably about 6-7 seconds, which isn't a lot, but it could end up being critical. Just a fair catch and catch that ball in that situation, that is really hurting field position for Elida, and that's a 53-yard punt that time.
One of the unsung heroes of this ball game is going to be Chris Rickenbaugh at the end of it if this score holds. As McAdams pump fakes, he's in trouble. Now he's got his receiver open, and it's caught, but not for very many yards as Henderson goes down, and Elida's going to have to hurry back to the line. Yeah,
in some cases, you'd almost rather that be incomplete with how much you're going to lose time-wise. You need to go about 80 yards, so 5 yards with the clock running. That's going to hurt you as much as it's going to help you.
45 seconds when he snaps it. McAdams looking for Barnett, and he can't come up with it as Devin Barnett was open for a minute, but he just overthrew him.
I believe that ball might have been tipped. But again, Elida was in a similar situation with Salina a few weeks ago where Salina went for 2 to take the lead by 1, and they were able to move the ball down pretty quickly as Salina kind of gave them a big thing. Yeah, it was that ball was tipped by Bubba Miller that time.
McAdams, 38 seconds, throws it, and Keck almost with the game-winning interception, but McAdams took a shot as well, as now it comes down to one play here for the Bulldogs in this contest.
Yeah, 33 seconds left, and this 4th down, this game comes down to this. As you can see, you got a little bit of pressure from Miller.
The Bulldogs tonight, 2 of 3 on 4th down conversions. This one right here, this could be it for them for their undefeated season if they don't get it. McAdams throwing. It's caught, but is it enough for the 1st down? It depends on the spot. It's very close.
It's going to be very short. He was coming back. He was originally beyond the sticks, but where he actually caught it, he might be short. And they're going to measure it. I mean, they're right there, but they're going to measure it.
Well, you almost want them to here.
Right in front of Coach Speller.
Well, the reaction of the sideline down there, they don't like it for the Bulldogs, but the Redskins do as they'll get the ball back, and that virtually seals it. I'll tell you what, the Wapakoneta Redskins, after starting the season 0-2, come back with what's going to be now 3 straight victories against very tough opponents, and they're upsetting an undefeated Elida Bulldogs team, and it keeps their hopes alive to regain their WBL crown.
And you see the replay there. It might be a little bit tough to see where the actual spot is, but yeah, as you mentioned, this is a big-time seismic change in the Western Buckeye League in terms of knocking off an undefeated team. Wapakoneta, I mean, if you would have asked, I think, everybody in the stadium after that pick 6, what they thought about their chances of this game, they probably wouldn't have thought it was very good. But after giving up 20 points to the Elida Bulldogs in the 3rd quarter, they shut them out in the 4th quarter. and the Redskins are going to hold on and put themselves right back in the discussion for the Western Buckeye League title.
Well, there's going to be a party tonight in Wapakoneta. 36-33, the Redskins upset the undefeated Elida Bulldogs in this Week 5 contest. Back with more here on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
If you're looking for the best in screen printing and embroidery, then look no further than Capware, Lima's original one-stop screen printing and embroidery shop. Whether you have a family or union or just trying to support our area teams, Capware has everything you need to let your true colors shine. If a more subtle look is what you desire, Capware has you covered there too, with a full selection of casual and corporate attire to keep you looking good. Ask about our full line of trophies and awards. No job too big or too small. Stop in today at 565 South Metcalf and let us cover your back. That's Capware, Lima's original since 1987.
Come out to Astro Lanes, where you can find great food, good drinks, and of course, bowling. Astro Lanes, a great place to spend some spare time. Dad's Toy Shop is Northwest Ohio's premier hobby shop located in downtown Wapakoneta and proudly supports Redskins athletics. Dad's Toy Shop, the one-stop shop for all your hobby needs. Stars and Stripes Graphics is your local screen printer located just east of the St. Mary's Memorial High School. Visit our showroom for all things Rough Rider, including jackets, sweatshirts, hats, sweatpants, ball caps, and more. We also carry items for New Knoxville Rangers and select collegiate gear for Ohio State and Michigan. Stars and Stripes Graphics, your local screen printer.
36-33, the Wapakoneta Redskins knock off the undefeated Elida Bulldogs as they're celebrating yet another win, 3 in a row after starting the season 0-2. What a bounce back year it's been for Wapak. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Merit Real Estate Professionals Take It to the House play. As it was the pass from Isaac McAdams to Cole Harmon. He scoots all the way down the field off the nice pitch and catch, and he pulls up a little injured there at the end. He takes it to the house for the score. And big play for the Bulldogs, but they come up short overall. Let's take a look at our second half scoring summary and how things got started. It was basically all Bulldogs seemed like to start the second half, as Little with the pick six off the Brady Erb pass, walking it into the end zone for the score. The Bulldogs go up on top, and then you've got the Redskins responding with Mitch Apple. He was big for them tonight, 37 yards on that run, 5 plays, 87 yards on the drive. Then the take to the house play we just saw from Mr. Harmon. He went quite a way, 68 yards on that reception at 4:47 mark in the third quarter. Then it was Rob Gersner punching it in from just a few yards out. Redskins build momentum once again to Mitchell Apple. He scores that, and then he also gets the 2-point conversion to go along with it, and the Redskins never looked back from that point. Defense stands tall. Colin Goulet knocks it down on 4th down. Then the final play of the game for the Bulldogs offense comes up short as Xavier Gilkey just barely misses the chains, and that's how we get our final of 36-33 in favor of the Wapakoneta Redskins. And Paul, it's time to take a look at our stats.
Yeah, and sometimes stats tell you exactly what happened, but this time if you look at the team stats, it doesn't always tell the story, as the Elida Bulldogs outgained the Redskins. And when you also throw in that they had a pick six, Wapak turned the ball over 2 times. You wouldn't expect Wapak to win that football game, but they found a way, especially coming up in that fourth quarter, as they outscored Elida 8-0 in that final period to get the 3-point lead. And now there's only one undefeated team in Western Buckeye League play, and that's the St. Mary's Rough Riders. But they still have to play these 2 very talented teams that we saw tonight.
Well, it's been a fun first few weeks here in the Western Buckeye League. There's going to be parties all around Wapakoneta tonight as they pull off the upset. Next week we'll be heading back to Skip Bachman Stadium as the Bulldogs travel there to face the Rough Riders in what should be another great clash between 2 WBL foes. Again, the final here from Wapak, 36-33. A big thanks to all our guys in the truck, Nick, Adam, and Todd, AJ on stats, all of our camera operators as well. And for Paul Sadler, this is Eli Alvarez saying we'll see you next week in St. Mary's.